It's like we're a bunch.
Exactly, like you are you, Zuckerberg. I can say what I want. This is America.
Well, no, that's not the point that I was trying to make. I'm trying to say, like, you're trying to make it seem like we just came back.
We don't listen to them pretty fitting politicians up in D.C. This is the Florida. Florida. DeSantis 2024.
Right, here in Florida where we can't pronounce 3-syllable words, so we turn a 3-syllable word into a 5-syllable word. Florida. All right, is everybody ready?
Well, I'm trying to figure out like what I can do with an opal. Give me a second. Well, I can do that while you're doing this. Sorry.
Why are you saying?
Remember that was you got the spell component chest from a necromancer.
Yeah.
So it does not necessarily have to be wizard spells.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like being very.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be opals. It could be opal powder, it could be crushed opals, like any number of ways that they.
If you ask for an opal and I see you start beating it on a fucking rock like an eye.
No, I'm gonna take it to a professional.
Yeah, I need that. Just has his favorite rock on just like a fucking sea otter.
Well, she's gonna have a shit fit when you have to cast Creator Restoration on your own.
That diamond.
Yeah.
Anybody have 100 gold pieces worth of diamond? Oh, thanks. Boom, boom, crush, smash.
Yes.
Watch Arkin cry off to the side.
Speaking of, just like, I'm working on a spell that requires.
No, I've had about a year.
Diamond worth at least 50 GP. It's just like
I've had a year to come to terms with that.
What's that?
I've had about a year to come to terms with that. I mean, I still asked Daniel. I'm like, you use it yet? No. I'm like, okay. If you're not going to use it, let me know. I'll take it back.
That's why I hold on to it. Just in case.
I mean, you guys have been in town multiple times since you've had money enough to buy one, so you could buy additional ones.
Why would I buy what I can steal?
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's
what?
You're not wrong.
It's solid logic.
How much for that cigar? $2,000. How much for this lockpicking set? $100. I'll take that. What time do you guys close tonight?
I love Bender.
That's fucking Bender.
I fucking love Bender. Bender's fantastic. All right.
And he knows it.
The material components for confusion is 3 nutshells.
Yeah. It's a shell game.
Like 3 shells, like running.
Okay, that I get it now. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of like little tiny tidbits in some of those, as far as like what's. So the reasoning behind some of the material components is pretty interesting.
I mean, that's cute. It's like the did they age well?
Yeah.
I feel like that gives me insight into Demolition Man's 3 shells.
Right, that's what I was asking. Talk about
that actually.
burgers?
That would make sense too. Like I would allow it to go through instead of like because it says 3 nutshells, which is the shell game, but I would allow it to go through if you had 3 seashells. Like the confusion about that one would be
but that's
pretty.
Because again, it correlates to you're just hiding an object basically to confuse them.
You're hiding your poop.
That would confuse me if you pulled out 3 seashells. I shit with this. I
like the one meme where it says like it's a sign inside of a bathroom and it says please do not flush anything except the toilet paper, and it says nervously puts poop in pocket. Damn you 3 seashells. Okay, so everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
I'm just doing that.
All right. Last session, finishing up, searching the Hag's Lair for anything of use, finishing drinking the contents of the cauldron, finally freeing the children from the cage, summarily executing the children that you just freed from the cage.
They attacked us first.
I still haven't gotten the I was right, you were wrong.
Yeah, well, you're not going to fucking get it. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, fucking kids.
Yeah, fucking kids. We had very good intentions for that. Look, when I can say we and still exclude somebody without verbally excluding somebody.
Yes, but you're white.
Making your way out of the hag's lair.
Yeah, I know, she's a little fucking pothead.
After stripping it of everything useful, heading down the tunnel a little bit before you actually took your guys' long rest. Figuring out some of the items that you had gotten and the interesting characteristics therein. You proceeded down the tunnel to where you were informed the Medusa resided. A use of the arcane eye spell that you had gotten from the eye of one of the hags gave you a chance to map out the area, the battlefield, if you will, and gave you a glimpse of something more on the far side of the battlefield. A very hard-fought battle where multiple people turned to stone, several of them very close to multiple times. But you eventually ended up defeating not only the malformed Medusa, but also her pet, the Gorgon, and decided to continue up the slope a little bit to check out what was on the other side before taking your rest. Finding the long dead body of some strange godlike form, you decided to make your rest between the desiccated feet of this beyond Titanic being. What do you all do? Would you like to pick up before, during, or after the long rest?
Sounds like a trick.
Entirely depends. This is up to the party. As in, do you have things to do before you long rest, or do you just simply want to pick up in the morning after you have long rest?
Spells, attunements, anyone need anything to play
I
with?
swap out a few spells at least.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to attune to the object that Arkin handed me the previous night.
Okay. Just the one?
He's got two.
That's the only one that requires attunement. The Clipper doesn't.
Okay.
It says does not require.
Okay.
I'm intrigued by what you need the quiver for. Okay. Cool.
I want to get a bow at some point just so that I have more range when I need it. Because I only have 30 feet and it's annoying being the only one that can
Yeah,
reach
I'm
30
aware.
feet
You
when
say
they're
you
long
want
away.
a bow?
I'll just get like a normal short bow or something at some point.
You want? Can you use a long bow? Those
You
are
sure
different than
long
short
stuff?
bows. Long bows
well,
require.
he's a halfling, isn't
He can't use either, if I remember correctly. As a monk, you can't use either. That's
You don't really
part
do.
of what the priest do. If I remember right, a monk is not able to use either. But I could be wrong. I don't remember if you get
If
all
it's
simple. I don't think you get
thrown.
all simple.
He's,
If it's thrown,
he's about to look it up.
Not even then. You have
there are certain
you have
ones.
you have a specific list of things.
He's about to look it up.
But yeah,
Simple weapons.
Simple weapons. So sling.
so you do have simple weapons. Okay, so a short bow is a simple weapon. So you would be able to get a short bow, but you would not be able to do a long bow. Long bows are martial.
Crossbow, short bow.
I don't remember if I kept a short bow or not, but sorry.
Yeah,
I
I'll just
can't
get a short bow
metagame
or
that.
a crossbow at some point. Probably short bow.
A monk with a crossbow? I mean, powerful. Overall.
I mean, generally speaking, like a light crossbow is
You can
one of
do
the
a
things that you would
crossbow.
carry.
How much crossbows are like what, 200?
I don't remember. I think light crossbows are like 75.
Really
75.
cheap.
I don't remember. It's been a bit.
So
It's been a minute since I've done the price check.
Maybe take dual wield, you get two of them. And you get the
You
space
could
for it.
technically do it anyway. You just wouldn't be able to reload them.
Yeah, but
So that's why you have them on, fucking leather straps. So once you're done firing, you drop them. For your weapons.
I think we're okay.
Right. But if you're going to drop your light crossbows, then I want to see you actually re-equip your fists.
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
I think like the little kid
Like,
Hulk
it's like-
hands.
Incredibly.
I think the
Yeah,
little
the Hulk
kid,
hands.
the little kid Hulk hands.
Oh.
And he could, because it's the psychic force, so you could psychic force Hulk hands.
Or he just reaches into his pocket and like flicks them off. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Are you doing anything with your attunements?
I'm playing. Let me balance out what it goes.
I've got some stuff to share as far as like some of the files that I ended up picking up.
That just has to get heated.
Arkin, you seem to be the most mobile out of all of us.
Is
So
that a compliment? I'm not getting a
it's a
It's a
catapult.
statement of fact.
it's a statement of fact.
Okay, I just want
You-
to trust
you
you
are-
gonna, like,
you are,
eat me
like-
or something. I'm going back to like that bubble. Like, where the fuck are we going in this call?
Oh, to Luke's resilient sphere. Now you're not mobile at all.
So I'd like to go ahead and pass on the 2 regular healing potions and the restorative ointment that I have. Because if anyone's going to get a chance to do anything for anybody, it's going to be you. He can keep us from he can stop us
that's
from dying.
nice. I already have healing potions, so if people want to hold on to those.
Okay.
I mean, I won't.
Well, I didn't give you everything.
I
but-
think I said healing potions too, plus the ointment.
Yeah, that's still not.
I got.
All right,
Potions.
all right,
Anyone not have
Right.
healing potions? Let's ask
You
that first.
have 2 regulars.
And then 2.
The
then-
super ones
yeah.
are the giant ones.
Yeah, I have the giant ones. I
Which
have regular ones.
would not be necessarily usable in during battle
No, but
because
we know
they take a long time to drink.
We know we're walking into.
But yeah,
In case
that would
someone-
be a thing that you could bring somebody back up to
Yeah.
pretty much just about full at this
And
point.
That, or if we decide who's
Like
going
on a
to be,
short
like,
rest.
Yeah, who's going to be the tank?
Yeah.
Play tank.
So, like, who doesn't carry healing potions? Like, the restorative ointment, hold on to that at least.
I don't have any healing potions.
The restorative ointment is nice because
Alright, he gets 2 regular
you can
healing
just
potions.
wipe it on somebody and they get all of the stuff, like the benefits of it. Or they can you can put it in their mouth, but either way, it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to rub oily goop in somebody's mouth or all over their body?
Do you really want me to answer what I would do with it to make it worth it? Like,
Run.
yeah, how bad do you want to come back to life? But let's have a conversation.
Oh,
He's
wow.
down and bleeding out. Roll him over.
Roll it. I fucking knew
We're-
you were going. That's what you were going with.
Time for a
It's
silver
just
bullet.
like, oh hey, what's she strapping on the front of her? Oh no.
I think
The whole rest of you is a bloody mess, but your nipples are perfect.
no, that's an 8 and
Your
7.
asshole is remarkably well.
I was thinking the butt plug with the tiger balm.
For the first time in years, your asshole is intact.
You got your asshole hymen back. Congratulations.
There you go. Okay. Okay, so you have 2 healing potions, and you're keeping the ointment. Are you taking the other 2 healing potions?
Yep.
Okay. Write down Hag's healing potions.
Oh,
Access a goddamn longbow, though.
Mhm.
Nothing. We're playing. We can go back. Congratulations, Jesse.
Hmm?
That solves that. That was on the list too, right? You said that too?
Yeah.
Now you don't have a problem.
Can we read to more than one thing in the night?
So I handed him my longbow. Right? Because that was okay?
So you now have a regular longbow,
And the bracers.
1d8 piercing, blah blah blah, yada yada.
Else, or you got It's in the player's handbook.
Yeah. Mike does
I forgot that
too.
it does that.
Yeah, Mike fucking does that same thing. I blind Elizabeth more times than I can count because I talk with my hands, especially when I get fucking like heated.
Yeah. Mm. It said it still hadn't been received by you when I last looked at it. There we go.
Is there a method you're using to do so?
I'll get back to you on that
Okay.
because I don't think I have. No, fuck, I don't really have anything. Oh, okay, then that's just gonna wait.
Okay.
Because I really don't want to use it without making contact first.
We still only have 3 attendant slots, right?
Yeah.
For now.
Correct. Until level 10.
Unless you want to share your body.
I'm gonna remain unattuned from those until we leave the plane of Earth. Then, for now, it seems like we get mostly close.
Now,
I'll route them off you.
shoot you a message.
You better fucking wear those.
Can I still wear them even though I'm not attuned? Because they look pretty fucking cool.
What's that?
Can I still wear them even though I'm not attuned? Because they look.
Why aren't you tuning to those?
I wanted the pretties.
I only have 3 slots. I'm keeping Winds of Change, Ring of Dark Vision, and then the other one.
Then you can't use the longbow.
I'm not gonna start using that until we get out of the plane of Earth. Because for now, we seem mostly close range anyways.
It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
confused, but it's your character. You can do whatever you
It's
wish.
fine. This is fine. It's all fine.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing stopping you from wearing them. You just don't get any of the benefits. Right.
That's where I have my Ring of Dark Vision. It's quite necessary.
So what else do we have?
That's
Change
okay.
my it's when it gives me my movement speed, advantage on the next attack I make, and an extra D8
What else?
Ring of Dark Vision, and then something else.
Is it super useful, or is it just something you really like?
Oh, no, that's just-
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like back when we were on like Crossfell, we all had to have like things keeping us from not coming to terms with forces of God.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna do Umbra with the ring.
She's so cute and fat. Ooh, you vicious monster. I like it. Tell yourself out. That's right. No. This is actually a really effective method to keep her ass off the fucking table. Better grab that before she gets it.
All right.
Would this
So,
long rest count?
Okay, that's fair.
Or
what's that?
so would this long rest count? Or
For
both rolls?
when you wake up in the morning, yes, you would
Okay.
be able to make your 2 rolls.
Is that what you got from the one that you got from the Medusa?
That's the one his dog handed me. My dog handed me the razors and the quiver that you have, and then I got the belt a while back. been wearing it, but I've been afraid to use it because that large. We'll figure it out.
It'll be interesting when the monk finally gets done.
And then a list.
It's done.
Stunned.
It's done. Oh.
He handed me a list of what he wanted.
Okay.
If a monk gets stunned and someone's dying.
Choices.
Yeah.
Choices are made. Okay, so you obviously unattuned from the belt and attuned to the bow.
Mhm.
Okay, other than that, everything else stayed the same.
Everything stayed the same.
Jesse, your attunements.
The belt, my ring of dark vision, and the winds of change.
Okay. Anybody else changing any attunements, or are you guys good?
No, mine's.
Okay.
A question: how long is it going to take for us to get from where we are to where the necromancer is?
How ADD are we?
Well, there's a reason I'm asking.
Like in-game time or
In game time, yeah.
You were given an idea of the general direction where the necromancer is located, but not an exact location, because you guys never really specified you wanted an exact location for it.
Right.
Going back to the Sverfneblin to find out the exact location, and then heading directly there. You're looking probably close to day. That one was. Call it another day. Ish, probably just under. And then it's probably going to take you roughly about 6 days total to get back to the Sverfneblin and then to the Necromancer.
Cool. I'm gonna unattune from the cloak of protection for now, and reattune to the doorstep.
Okay.
Because while we're whenever we go to rest, I want to try to load it up.
Okay. You've used it enough times that knowledge that you gain while you're attuned to it, while you're actually attached like mind to mind with it, is the only time when it gains knowledge. You can't load it up with knowledge per se. In other words, you can't just take like your memories. You can load it up with spells. Yes, absolutely. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do with it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't want there was nothing else after that I was trying to add. I want to load it with the levels of spells.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, anytime like when you guys take like rests in the day, and like long rests would be when you'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's It's 1 hour per level of the spell. So just plan accordingly.
Can do. Since I have to wait 2 hours for human and halfling to finish up their rest anyways.
True.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember that it would take away from like any perception checks or anything like that. Like if you're watching the surroundings, like the whole 9 yards. Like doing it in an unsafe environment is risky. Unless obviously you have like multiple people taking a watch at the same time, at which point it would be probably less problematic. But just think about it as a real world situation.
Right.
That's all.
Completely understood. So you are already done with your long rest by the time I'm done with my long rest.
I mean, probably.
So
I only have to rest for 4 hours, so I can take the other half of watch.
there you go. Works for me. So then you guys need 8 hours. So that's 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's the case.
All right. So,
But I do have to spend the amount of gold as if I were transcribing the spell into a spell book.
incorrect. You simply have to have it prepared in your mind. So, in
Okay.
other words, you don't prepare it from a spell book. You directly transfer it from your mind into the lore stone.
Mhm.
So, you are restricted on how many times you can change out spells.
Mhm.
So, it's generally one of those things that's best done once a day, where at the beginning of the day, you choose your spells, and then at some point, you decide what spells to put in there. Like, say, if you either just before you rest for the night, or just after you rest. But it depends on how you want to allot your spells that you're preparing.
Okay.
So choose wisely as to which ones, because you will probably be locked in for the day. Obviously, unless you don't have the ability, like the lore master would allow you to change out a spell partway through the day,
Yeah.
but you don't have that ability.
Yeah.
But so it's slightly more restricting, but it negates the gold piece cost in doing so.
Which is way more beneficial overall.
Yeah.
I can't take a spell scroll and then try to describe it into the lore stone because that's skipping a step. Is
Correct.
Got it.
You would have to transcribe the spell scroll into your spell book and
then
then prepare it into your mind from the spell book, because you can't directly prepare it from a spell scroll.
got it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Absolutely. So, if you want to attune to the lore stone,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose your prepared spells, and if they're say you plan on doing it before you rest for tonight,
Mhm.
then you would be able to, whatever spells you had prepared the day before, if there's any of those that you would like to transfer into the lore stone, you could do so, given the 4 hours that you have.
Right.
And then when you wake up in the morning, you just prepare a new list of spells. At which point you can swap out some of them and just pick and choose some of them that you want to go into the lore stone. Make sure that you have at least a couple of them. When you rest for that night, do the same thing. Take your 4 hours first, put them into the lore stone, then take your 4 hour rest. And then you get to choose new ones in the morning. Because you have to finish a long rest before you can prepare new spells.
Yeah.
So you have to, it's a little bit hopscotchy, but it's the way that it works.
Gotcha. Yeah. No. So if that's the case, then I'll be doing that, and I will send you the ones I'm putting.
Okay, good to know. Question?
Game mechanics for javelin. Is it count as a one-handed weapon?
Yes and no.
Because I know.
Problem is, it's a strength thrown weapon.
Okay.
It does not have the finesse property,
Okay.
so you can't use dexterity. It would be the same for anything else that does not have the finesse property.
Okay.
Then, dexterity ones would be things like darts, shurikens, daggers, hand axes? I don't remember off the top of my head if hand axes
Hand
can be
axe-
dexterity or not.
They can be dex because
Okay.
some of the rangers, he's built a ranger that uses just
Okay.
axes and stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't remember off the top of my head. But, so, javelins are strength-based, thrown weapon. So, be careful of that.
I was comparing crossbow, short bow. Crossbow gets more damage. Rolls.
Crossbows go with something like crossbow expert, so you can skip the loading property.
Yeah.
Because
That's what
loading.
I was trying to think. So I was like, well, the javelin's one-handed, unlike bows where you have to reload. And...
Right, but
But
if you're not building a ranged character, I mean, it's all pick and choose. It's all what are you limiting yourself to? And do you want to take a melee character and try to turn them half melee, half ranged? How are you going to allocate your feats? Is it really worth doing so because you won't be able to fully spec out a ranged or a melee?
Mhm.
Some people like having the more broad spectrum of choices.
Yeah.
Some
but...
people like the idea of better narrowing down into a single thing. So it's definitely a personal choice. So And the bracers only work for short bows. and long bows. So,
Yeah, but I was looking at it was counts as a simple weapon, so I knew he could use it in that way. But that's what I was looking for. Because it wasn't a lot of detail. I'm like, it's a
right.
dex strength. And
Yeah.
with the quiver, it said for the long section, I could hold the javelin. So I was like,
yeah, I mean, it would still be usable. It just wouldn't be as effective as a dex-based range weapon.
we'll see. Because I mean, what's he saying? Do I range?
What's that?
He just like range like all the time, or just the option range? Because that rapier would give him a range option or one shot range.
The option of range, and he wouldn't be able to use the rapier.
No, I thought monks are dex.
Monks are simple weapons and a certain number of other weapons.
Okay.
They don't get martial as just a general, so rapiers are off the table. Unless, yeah, even I don't know that there's anything that gets rapier specifically, even racials. Because like elves get long sword,
There's a
long
feat
bow,
that-
short bow, and
I'm sure there's a feat
short
that would.
sword. Yeah, I mean you
Okay.
It's a
could,
waste
but
of feet.
ugh,
That's if you want to
that
waste
is
a
such a
feat.
waste of a feat to take.
Some of the feats really are wastes. When I was reading them, I was
Bards.
like, who would take
Huh?
Bards get rapier.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
but you're
That
not
was the
playing
But
second
that's
with
not-
I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say.
that's not.
You're not.
I was talking about racial, like if you were
Oh.
like something else. 'Cause I
I
know.
could say anything.
I think bards
Right.
and cats are on races.
I think hobgoblins can take a rapier.
Oh, that's right.
Part of
Don't.
their
Yeah, because they can get. What is it? Just one martial or two or something?
I think it's 2 martial weapons.
Yeah,
They get
something like that.
proficiency.
You can pick and choose, but you have to take that at like character creation.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit wonky on that. Okay, so
Unless you let's have a little fun with your incarnation spell.
that's true. That's true. But if that was the case, I would probably restrict you to choosing only ones that your original race had, because that's a learned thing. It's a cultural thing.
Fair enough.
I would no. You know what I would do? I would allow you to train in 2 martial weapons of your choice. You wouldn't get it immediately upon reincarnation, but I would allow it after a certain amount of training with them. I would allow it that way. Because I don't like the idea of restricting something that would eventually, like, that should be a racial thing.
Right.
I would probably just allow that.
Yeah.
Like, the next time you level up, you gain proficiency in those weapons.
Right.
Type of thing.
Because
Something
you have
fairly
time to
simple.
train.
Yeah.
Man, you
Unless it was like super high level campaign and you got reincarnated at like level 18, it's going to be forever till you hit 19. I would probably 3 months game time. You can be proficient in both martial weapons.
even by the time your character's level 19, you're nearing demigod status.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so. Is everybody done for the night? Anybody making spell changes in the morning? Daniel, I'm assuming you already did yours.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
um,
Laura, spell changes.
yes.
One of these days, she's gonna say yes, and George's gonna be like, "The fuck."
It can happen.
All right, cool. So,
She's really cute sometimes. Most times she's just a fucking monster.
Oh, you're dating someone?
all right. So, what is your guys' next step?
Well, to get out of here, actually.
We're not gonna
I
explore.
would think
These are gods. We want to
Explore?
look around and see if
Explore?
there's anything
Explore.
if
here.
there's
Explore?
anything in here, I think it's already been found. This thing's been dead for longer than any of us could ever even fathom being
Would its
alive.
head fit in a bag?
I have to say I don't think you're right on that one. The Guardian was still alive till we just killed it.
Guardian?
Its Guardian,
The Medusa?
a Medusa,
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
she wouldn't let anyone by without her not living anymore.
It sounds like it's a pretty large area.
Okay, so all right.
This whole entire backside where you had come, this whole entire throne area, as much of it as you can really see, which you're not limited by dark vision because this whole entire area, like even
Yeah, the
throughout your whole
sunlight.
entire thing, yeah, it all looks very sunlight. Like it's lit up very much like it. And this whole entire back side of the cavern is all collapsed. There's like massive boulders, and you can see like the vague outlines of what must be incredibly huge columns and like sections of wall. So this whole entire section is effectively collapsed all around,
That's what
and
we
the
found out.
section around the throne that you're at right now is effectively only kept clear because of the massive overhang of stone that, I mean, it's so far above you, it's nearly impossible to tell exactly how thick this roof would have been, but it's ridiculous just how thick this thing is. But it seems to be holding up the majority of whatever this landslide of broken stone and columns and walls and everything is.
Your arcane eye was able to show us exactly what is helping create the light, right?
He said, "Look at this before."
Yeah, the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're with the arcane eye. He got the description that effectively you guys look to be inside of what could be loosely considered like a geode, if you will. The entire upper part of the cavern is covered in a fine layer of like topaz-like crystals.
Oh, only they
And the light coming through and it's making it look, he said, similar to sunlight. And we can only see up about 150 feet of that giant beam.
Yeah, it might be too big to explore this area.
I mean, with a rope of climbing, basically do this like rock climbing. As long as we can find places to hold on to and reattach, we might be able to stay on, or at least part of them.
I would allow I would prefer those that are more dexterous than I.
Have you considered volunteering your familiar for the cause?
I would need to recast the spell and bring my spell back.
Probably good custom.
Do you have the incense and everything for it?
I believe so. With the
I mean, I can do it. Can you hand me monster manual? Just want to make sure you like.
yes,
Nah, just save it.
special incense. Okay, yeah.
Just fucking save it.
So I'll take 11 minutes to ritual cast Fire Familiar.
Just save it. Just save it.
Why? It lasts forever until it dies.
Okay.
Fine.
No,
Go
I
ahead
didn't
and
know
mark
that.
off the spell components.
Okay. And the only cost for it was the incense, right? If I'm not mistaken.
As far as I know, you'd have to double check the spell
so-
description.
On the new copy, there's just going to be page numbers for every spell, like Daniel does.
It's incredibly smart. That's what I've started doing on a lot of mine too.
Total incense of incense.
For about most of them.
10.
There's a portion where I don't.
So a total of 10 today. Pass me 10, please.
And did you figure out one way or the other the Find Familiar? Is that one that you have or don't have?
No.
Did you
The
get
Find
one,
Familiar-
or
The
no?
Find Familiar was the one that I thought.
Most
Most of the ritual spells are ones that I paid for in Waterdeep.
I'm going to go with a negative on that one, Captain. I know that you bought the Liamin's secret chest for sure.
Yeah. No, like, and water breathing. And it was a whole thing. And Tensor's floating disc and
No.
unseen servant. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
And where did I get them from?
You got those ones with the necromancers, at the necromancer's room in the tower. Those all came from a book. You have all of those in a ritual spell book, but you never transcribed them into your spell book.
And comprehend languages.
Those are all from that same ritual spell book. You bought Tensor's or the Liamin's secret chest, which I was a little bit confused at the time why you did that because you had it in that book.
Right. I guess I forgot.
And that's why I was wondering, because you had that whole ritual spell book the whole entire time and never transcribed any of the spells over to your spell book, which makes them completely unusable.
You bought at least like 2 or 3 spells from one in each shop, though.
No, you bought the earth spells.
Yeah.
Did we ever agree on figure out like when it says sensibilities, that means I can see through what my companions use?
You gain the senses that your companion has.
So they have like blind sight or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can't see through the bat, but I can use the bat.
Correct.
Ah, damn.
Correct.
Never mind, so yeah, companions are familiar. It's a little bit smoother than me trying to talk to a hawk.
Does anybody know how to speak with animals?
No.
You get a parrot? I mean, I get a parrot, but there's in my mind there's gonna be some rule like we're just rolling a D10 the reaction tells you to fuck off. Polly want a cracker. Only one option means it actually talks back to you.
The raven, I think, can that's a mimicry more than anything.
It doesn't really.
Same thing with the parrot. The parrot doesn't really say anything about
Oh,
understanding.
there actually is a parrot. I didn't see one of those too. I was being smart ass.
There's enough options that you can kind of if you said what you wanted, we could find something in there that would make sense. So.
I just gotta work that challenge one. So this stuff, I'm like, that's really cool. I'm like, I really can't stop.
Okay, so what are we doing?
You want to explore?
I kind of want to explore, but we want to go ahead and get stuff done. Get stuff done too. I mean, do we feel pretty confident we probably found most everything that we can use at this point? I'm just kind of curious about the creature.
I feel like we found everything we can use. Any other knowledge here would be archaic.
Let's see. Now, I have a question. I forgot the name of the being that we're collecting heads for. Giant evil aboleth. Thank you.
Referred to himself as the Sultan. Referred to itself as the Sultan.
Yeah. I'm not calling him jack shit once here. Is a Medusa's stone turning gaze?
We should have fed it to children.
I said that before we left. But,
Should have what?
Should have fed it to children.
anything that didn't get disintegrated. Would it be susceptible to the Medusa's gaze even though she's dead? Like if we put it in the bag and then he opens the bag, it turns to stone, win-win.
Honestly, I
I
don't
know
know.
one way to find out.
If we want to test it.
Got the Medusa's head?
I don't feel like pissing off an aboleth for no damn reason.
We could say it was an accident. Old, centuries-old being, powerful.
Reads mine.
Okay, my brain is like a fucking potato. It's great. It's fine. We're good. I'll lead the way.
We just have to give R enough alcohol and send him in so he can't read his mind.
Go to read it and be like, why do you need to pee so bad?
What does this need, you speak
That
of?
right. That much alcohol in one day?
What are you?
He just starts pulling phone book out with local AA meetings.
He's like, no, I don't want this brain. I'll get
Room
brain
spin.
damage from eating it.
Room spins around again. Whole room with chairs opens up and stuff.
I mean, we could.
A big sign that says intervention.
We're collecting heads anyway. We might as well try it. I was just kind of curious if that would be a twofer.
The Medusa head, did it go in the bag of the sustaining bag?
That was
No
my
one, I can't lob it off. I've got a staff that yells at me.
Yeah, we didn't think to lock it off.
She hasn't yelled at you yet.
Wait, I thought
Did I
someone.
take
I
it
could have
off?
sworn someone cut the
I
Medusa
Oh yeah, we
head
did
off.
take it off. We put it in something.
I didn't do anything yet to it. You guys want me to go back and butcher for a
No,
medicine check?
the head that we did get was the spellcasting hag.
Yeah.
That bitch is in the bag. But
Yeah. I'm just saying, anytime we kill something that has a head.
Yeah, that's strange. We didn't collect it. Okay, let's go cut off the head of that Medusa then.
You guys are killing it. I was hiding.
All right.
all right, let's go.
So, carefully heading on back down the slope, heading back in through the magically opening door in the back of the wall, or in the back wall. The Medusa and the Gorgon are still laying in the same spot where you left them the day before.
But the Corcoran's mechanical.
At this point, yes.
You might still have a brain. I wonder if it was like her pet was dying and she found a way to keep him alive forever. Like mechanical body.
The investigations that they did before, there are arcane runes of binding inside of the armor that look that they were used for containing some sort of an outsider. And
Wow.
there's nothing left in there at this point.
To Alphonse.
Pretty much.
All right, I'm
Come
going
on,
back
Dagger.
to
Up. Thank you, sir.
Do you want to hack off her head? You want me to hack off her head? Usually he asks us first either a strength check or a medicine check.
Or I could just make another deity.
Well, if it seems like it'll be more medicine, I can do that.
I mean, if all you're doing is cutting the head off,
Pretty
it
much.
doesn't matter if you butcher the thing. It's just
Yeah.
cutting the head off. I mean,
But
the neck itself it doesn't have eyeballs on it, so.
is there anything alive or anything? Can we find like a mouse or something to see like if it looks at her or if it turns to stone?
Oh, I have the perfect way to test this. Hold on just a moment. I walk over to the Medusa and I want to lift her head up. Where is he standing? Because I'm going to twist the head towards him and just pull the eyelids up and give him a weird look.
Yato.
That's a
Yes, I found you a bow.
Okay, I can reverse myself. I'll look at it to test it.
Make a Constitution save.
Hey!
You're the
Dang
guinea
it.
pig.
It works.
Have the
Well,
paper
let's
with
see
I don't
what
even
happens.
remember
Can I
what fucking
reverse
piece-
myself before I make the saving throw? Or
No, this was a surprise thing.
Okay.
Go ahead, the DC on. Oh, go ahead.
You can just reverse
Come on,
mine.
fumble it,
I
fumble it.
think I remember what hers was.
Ooh!
And my con should be like a +3 or a +2 or something.
I think I remember what her DC was.
He rolled high, so.
+4.
Oh,
19.
19?
Oh wait, saving throw. So it might be.
You look at Gyatso and nothing happens.
Shit! The one time I roll high.
Bring it closer. Yes, come here.
You get
Wait, would I have like felt myself resisting it though?
No, not on something like this.
I wonder if it works.
Now, is this like a classic Medusa, like with snake heads and things?
Correct.
Well, I didn't see it work,
Correct.
so I'm gonna go look
Try
at
it
it.
out.
At the very least, I want to see what color her eyes are.
Honestly, at this point, like we're just like, oh, yeah.
Look, someone's gonna fail. We're gonna figure it out. We're not metagaming.
Looking into her eyes, the eye itself is almost like a gray color of like a molten, like a liquid mercury
Right.
with you can see there's a redness to them, but there's snake's pupils that have like a little bit of redness left to them, but the actual like glowing red disappeared when she died.
Right.
And I need you to make a Constitution
Hey.
saving throw.
That's what I was expecting.
Now one.
Actually, that's not one.
He's like, oh fuck.
I actually got 13.
Ah! Everybody watches as Dothrmar starts to stare into the eyes of the Medusa, and starting from the tip of his nose back, you watch as he starts to turn to stone.
Reverse immediately.
Now hear me out. He's gonna be quiet for a few minutes.
If I leave him for a few minutes.
Sorry, I didn't know your arm was gonna be there.
Where his arm is?
He was also extending it.
It's not Cody. They're not perpetually on his penis.
Yeah, right. I can't
His
assume
arms.
his hands are gonna.
Yes.
I really cannot
Seal
assume
climate?
that.
Have you seen Cody's fingers? Would you want to masturbate with those knuckles? Nah. It'd be like wrapping your dick in fucking corn cobs. Nah, I'm
I
good.
guess if you always wanted to know what it's like to get fingered by E.T.
Oh,
Ugh.
E.T.
Ugh.
So
Yes, reversing the time. You feel yourself start to turn back.
I'm gonna close my eyes. Close eyes. Close eyes. It fucking works. It fucking works. Just close the fucking eyes.
Okay.
All right. Who has a way of preserving this thing?
I got a bag I can stick it in.
You have a bag you can stick.
I have a bag I can
Well, do we want to? Okay.
While the head is big, the head is quite large.
Mhm.
Like everything considered, it is enough to where it would fit in the central opening for the Sultan's sustaining sack.
Okay.
And there are two side ones that look big enough that you could fit the actual, like the more human head sized head of the hag in.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it in the middle, and everyone remember where we're putting this. That way, in the middle of a fight, we open this bitch up, and you'd be like, "Hey, peekaboo!"
This whole time I'm just sitting here thinking of Percy Jackson.
Yes, I'm.
So not the original lore. We're going Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm
Fucking millennials, man.
Well,
fucking
because
Gen
they were
Xers,
fucking
man.
Right.
everybody messing it up.
Not
too.
saying Perseus, but okay.
Right?
Not Perseus, but Percy.
Right? The whole like, did you win? Oh yeah, I won. Meh.
Right.
So,
You can have Grover come save you.
I'll marry you when I'm done knitting.
all right. So, Medusa's head safely stashed away. Was there any last minute things you wanted to do around the area before you leave?
Well, I say thoughts, my final time.
Okay,
so I
want to
think
go
I'm
swimming?
fine.
See what's in the lazy river of death.
I'm not really.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
Let's go kill.
Is there anywhere around there that looks as if where the Medusa was living? Because this is a creature. This was something that needed rest. This was something that needed to eat. Was there living space here?
Nowhere that you've seen so far had anything as far as a living space itself. No.
It's got a bunch of Medusa babies. I'm gonna come home with food this
Conferring
time.
with R, when he did a flyover of the whole area, there did not appear to be a living area.
I kind of want to chip off a piece because it's a souvenir, but also at the same time, I know it's a terrible idea.
You'd have to go back up there yourself. It's a long fucking walk.
I know, that's why we're doing explore before going back to the head. I know. My screen the whole way there. Cass is fucking familiar and everything.
Should we just move on?
Yeah, let's just move on.
All right.
Okay.
Back to this one.
Smurf Netflix.
Smurf Village it is.
Heading back out to the tunnels. Continuing straight on.
Mhm.
It's a long trudge. End of your first day, you end up reaching just before you're about ready to rest. You reach about to the point where the hag's lair is.
Okay.
Wait.
Is there anything different about this?
Wait, hold up. Before we keep gaming, so it's not metagaming for my rolls.
Oh, correct. Okay. If you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
write them down.
Yep. Section. Maybe better if I could replace companion rolls with these two.
Yeah, you can replace the roll.
Actually, I landed on a 1, so.
Okay then.
All right. Are you heading into the lair, or are you just kind of looking at the opening from the outside?
Well, just kind of. Oh man, I don't want to say I'm sticking my head in. But you didn't see the illusion drop.
No,
Correct.
no, no, no,
There-
no.
there is no illusion there.
I've had to stick my head all up that fucking layer. Everyone else gets two too.
Fair enough.
Anywho, I'm gonna ignore the daggers currently being stared at me. Dave, please don't break eye contact.
As long as it's the one and only time you ever say those words to me, I'm good.
We'll see how that goes.
Get back on R's drinking problem.
Oh, good God. Anywho, yeah, I just kind of want to see if there's. I want to see if I see any hint of the dolls
Okay.
from where we're standing at the entrance.
No.
No.
As far as you can tell, because the tunnel curves just slightly over towards the right-hand side, and so you can't see into the actual hag's lair.
Mm-hmm.
You would actually have to go up the tunnel a little bit before you could get a look into there.
Gotcha. Who's coming with? And wouldn't you be more keen on everyone keeping an eye out for those little fuckers?
I don't want to go down there. I don't want to look. We obviously can't kill them. I don't know what happened to them. At this point, I can just pretend they're lost in the void. Like,
Yeah,
Do you want to try your eyesight?
but are you sure? No. Actually, before we go in there,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna take a few steps back from the entrance, and I'd like to use my magic sight.
Okay. Looking down the hallway, you can see a handful of wisps of grayish white, what look to be clouds, like almost like a fog that's been slightly dispersed.
Okay. As I walk in, I'd like to see if I can see any hint of those creatures that I saw before.
How far are you going into the tunnel? Or are you just kind of walking slowly and you
I'm
want to see?
slowly. I'm like,
Cautiously
Okay.
approaching.
About 10 feet in is where the fog really starts to thicken. And walking slowly in, you're just barely into the point where the fog is around you, enough to where you can actually kind of see it more solidly. And about another 15 feet up, you can see trails just meandering back and forth through the fog.
I'd like to pull out my gem of the gem and look through it and see a true sea.
Okay.
Lose all your
Putting the
spell
gem up to your eye,
This was the safest option.
the fog inside of the gem swirls real quick before everything goes clear. The fog itself disappears. And all you can see up ahead of you are what look to be the upper half of these. Some of them, they're all humanoid to some extent, but not all of them look human. Some of them could be elves of some type. Some of them have long equine-looking faces. Some of them look almost cat-like, but they're all skeletal. They all look desiccated, and they're just the upper halves of these bodies that are just aimlessly meandering through. And staring for about 10 seconds, one of them turns and looks at you and starts floating towards you.
I'm immediately turning off my magical sight. I
Okay.
am not putting down the gem of true seeing.
You can still see the creatures, and the one is still coming straight at you.
Okay. I'm gonna not quickly, but I'm gonna be solidly backing up. Not slowly, just get back out.
Okay.
And I'll be relaying all the information to everybody as to what I'm seeing.
Go ahead,
can we push them
make a
forward?
dexterity saving throw.
Ooh.
Yeah. Aren't I would like to
Oh no.
We don't need to
I'm tripping on something. 12.
Okay. Keeping the gem up to your eyeball, Backing away steadily, you mistime the curve, and one of your feet catches on the edge of where the tunnel curves up a little bit, and you stumble and you fall backwards. And at that moment, the spirit zooms straight through your body into the ground, and you feel the magic and you shut off for a second before coming back again. Take off your highest level spell slot.
God damn it.
Looking up from this, do you keep the gem up your eye as it passes through?
Yeah.
You can see 3 more coming down the tunnel at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, no, taking the gem off.
Okay.
The second I see them coming, yeah.
As you pull the gem down, the last thing that you see is the fog roll back in before everything disappears and it's an empty tunnel in front of you.
Okay. I'm still relaying all the information.
Including your loss of magic.
I did. No, I'm not going to relay that part.
I'll save it if it's jokes.
You ever see someone keeps like Pokemon Hornet's Nest?
Yeah, the more information we find out about this, you know, I think the better.
Curiosity, something, cat, something.
Yeah, curiosity killed the cat, but finish it, and satisfaction brought it back.
And how satisfied are you, Mr. Keeps losing spell slots?
I now know more about the creatures.
Make an Arcana check.
I'm cool with
There
that.
you go.
You would have a bare basic idea of this from reading the journals.
Our
24.
Okay. When reading the journals from the original necromancer who occupied the room at the top near the top of the tower, there were mentions of things like this. The specific type of magic that's been used in this area, the curses in particular, have weakened the barrier between this area and the plane of shadow.
Ooh.
It's unclear exactly what these creatures are, but they feed on magical life force.
Okay.
They're attracted to this area because of the specific type of magic, because the hags' curses and the types of magic that they dealt in very specifically dealt in removing the life force from creatures and using that in various magical ways. And these things would feed off of they're like remoras, if you will, where they feed off of what's left over, what gets lost in between.
Gotcha.
And that's about as much as you would know.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied. Because if we ever we never know when something like that's gonna come in handy.
That's fair.
like the apple is come back here.
So it seems that they're only attracted to someone or something that can see them, they can recognize their presence. That's what I'm starting to get. What's up?
You're right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, I'd have Kobe'd that.
You have to set on fire first.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was You don't have any kids. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Cody went to throw his cup into the trash yesterday and it said Kobe.
We're
And he
talking
missed.
about Cody again.
And he's like, oh, it was accurate. And I put up my lighter and I was like, I can make it more accurate. And one of the cooks just fucking walked outside.
So are you gonna share what you are planning to check?
Yeah, I will go ahead and share.
The information that came to you when you saw the physical, finger quotes,
Right.
creatures.
What
Okay.
color is it? What plane was it?
They're drawn two places that it's like the thinning of the
Plane of shadow.
plane of shadow.
Thank you. ADD brain kind of worked. I knew that.
There are a number of different places in the cosmos that undead either originate from or collect in, but the plane of shadow effectively touches all of those, and that's the closest you could come to where these things directly came from. Did they come from a different plane, like a smaller demi-plane, or maybe a part of a different plane? Maybe, but plane of shadow is generally where most undead would come from in some way. So that's the closest you can get to that information. Okay. Is there anything more you want to do here? You've got probably about another 2 to 3 hours of travel before you're really ready to rest.
Do you wanna
So
look
it's
and-
up to you.
Look and loot any more than we did last time?
I mean, we could try to move that.
Yeah, you want to try move everything out of your portable hole, get a better angle, and try and ram's head it one more time? I mean, anyone think of any other options to get it to shift? That's the only thing I can think of.
Could I summon a warhammer large enough to encompass the entire space of his ram's head?
What?
If we roleplay him using his dicks as a ram well enough, would you let us?
Place the
I'm just-
warhammer in
Oh,
front,
hold on.
and then he hits it
Maybe
with
if you had
his
a
ram head,
enlarged
it would actually have a
person,
substance
we
to
could
hit
talk,
and
but-
push.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't smudge it too much. I know.
He wants to use the warhammer as a lever.
Basically. Because
Basically,
then
Um,
his ram's head would have a substance to push instead of just going through the bars.
I mean,
Your psychic energy doesn't really quite work that way.
I mean, and it's kind of like cool. We're gonna have to hit it like at the top at an angle anyway to get it to.
right.
So we're not hitting it like straight on. We're not trying to slide it. We're trying to tip it because we're trying to use gravity to help us, not fight friction.
It's up to you all. What would you like to do?
Want to attempt it again?
I'm totally fine trying it. Like
I do have the ram's head charges back, right?
long rest.
We'll call it you when you come back. I'm not terribly worried about you rolling for him.
I
Was
guess.
that bad?
Probably is, to be
Because
honest.
probably by the time that we needed to get it, it's going to be absolutely fully charged.
I mean, okay,
Shit, or something,
it's no, it's not, I tried that last time. It's not dirt floors. It's stone.
Hold on. I'm a fucking moron.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks.
Can I make a soundboard off the YouTube clips? Can someone show me how to do that?
I wouldn't mind. There's been a number of things that I'd like to rip out of some of these videos that we've done for a soundboard.
I'm really surprised that you haven't.
I haven't had the chance to. There's a lot of stuff I'm still learning about all of this.
So, Erupting Earth was one of the spells that I had grabbed
Okay,
from the Shop and Water.
correct.
And I haven't not had it unprepared.
Okay.
So I've had it prepared the entire time. I've never had a chance to use it. Give me a second just to reread the details of it to see if shifting it like that might prove valuable.
And the floor was stone. So we can't
Correct.
Take a hole. Yeah, try that. We could dig a hole and start building a lever.
And the thing's
So
built
The
solid. it
floor
doesn't have,
is
like,
the
hinges,
floor is
right?
natural
Yeah.
stone worked.
Erupting Earth is in Xanathar's, isn't it?
That's a good point. I'm just gonna look on my phone because it's easier.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys
Oh jeez, how am I getting so many?
what books this is like. I just
Okay.
did my math. That's what I was doing in the beginning.
Okay.
Yep.
I ain't got time to judge.
What you sent me, is that including all of the stuff from what you found in the Hag's Lair?
That's I didn't go through the Giants thing yet. What we got from the
Oh,
Giants.
so this is with the Hags, but not with
That's-
the
yeah,
giant?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm missing is the Giants. Cause I gotta go through my old legal pad for that one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna take me a little bit longer to go through all those because it's been torn up
Oh, you
stuff
found
built
it on
on
your
it.
phone.
I mean,
I could do it right now. With
I
the
can always
Uh,
I can pull it up on here. I can print you out a sheet, whichever you want.
Not the print it out.
So I get paid tomorrow. I'm using this one.
Or you can add it to it. So anything from that's missing the
What happened
giants.
to your phone?
Okay, so that's the only thing that's missing is the giants.
Because that's sandwiched in my legal pad, which is seeing better days. If I switch to the binder,
Gotcha. Right.
I got it.
yeah.
I think it's one.
I got you.
I get paid.
So
Okay.
it went to the binder.
So here, do me a favor.
Okay, so that's like first.
While he's looking that up real quick,
That's like
you.
pop over. Not yet.
Okay, no worries.
I got it.
But yeah,
Whatever you are. Because I think if I erupting earth it out of there, out of wherever it's inset into the floor, because it is inset into the floor, correct?
no.
You have not really been able to tell just yet. You haven't really gotten it to be able to move or anything.
All we determined was that it's a solid floor. It's a solid floor, and the floor itself is solid stone. Because my idea was to dig it and build a lever it up, and we can't do that because it's stone.
It's also
Do me a favor. Pop over here real quick.
Right.
If I remember right, it
So if you place
was
the edge, like a cube on
how many was
the edge of this, it's like 10 feet.
6, 7,
The portable hole
No, the cage.
cage is like it's just a few feet deep.
That one was split.
Right. I'm trying to remember how many of them it was per person. Because it was 7 people at the time.
I think
So it was 2
split.
per.
I can probably look it up in the
Yeah.
messenger.
It was
Well, erupting earth is like
there were 7
way I
people at
think
the
of
time.
is like-
It was 2 per
Things
person.
don't-
Yeah, I had the two
But,
turquoise peacock
yeah,
turquoise.
but it makes
Immensely heavy though.
Yeah, no, it's immensely heavy, but
'Cause
like,
I
it also
went for
makes
the blues.
terrain in that
Well, I can
cube.
probably. It's in
different
messenger
terrain.
how we split it. I can-
Right. There's 2 blue sapphires, if that's what you were looking for.
Yeah.
2 blue sapphires?
Yeah. And then,
Okay. And then I have the numbers for how much you would have gotten.
yeah. So that's the only thing that's I'm missing.
Okay. So yeah, that was the only thing I was missing was that, and I'll add that information to what I already have on here.
Yeah, because everything else was from like earlier
Okay.
battles, necromancer's bag.
Right.
So I split it up
Yeah.
and down.
I just wasn't because that number looked just a tad low, so I knew you were missing
And I
something, but I
did look
couldn't
some
remember
because
exactly
like
what.
when I've been like buying stuff, funding the drinking game.
Yeah.
It swindled a little bit, so I had to go back. We're having herbologists and apothecaries.
Okay.
So, if we go, well, first I'd like to go in there and I'd like to check to make sure that it's not inset into the floor.
Yeah, we can really inspect it now that there's nothing in it and nothing killing us, and we haven't almost died 6 times in one day.
Yeah.
I feel like we might make better
All right.
observations. Do we know what all of those runes written on it do?
I know it's to contain whatever's in there.
Yeah,
All
so
it's
you're
locked.
pretty observant,
Erupting
right?
Earth. What level is that?
Third level.
Third level.
Yeah, third level spell. Choose
Yeah.
a point you can
I-
see on the ground within range.
I got it
You
here.
got it?
Got big bees, anything?
Like, yeah, so you're pretty observant, right? Why don't you go look on the inside for us?
Okay, so you guys are heading into the Hags later. Anybody bringing light? Anybody not? What's up?
I'm okay without.
Yeah, I'll put light on myself and walk in.
Okay.
I think that's for the best.
Okay.
Do we just want to walk in, or do we want to scout it out? Do we feel like something would have come back? I feel like
So I feel like
I don't
something.
think there's anything in there.
maybe lower entities might come back, like the fucking dolls. But that's it.
I think that furnished places like this on this plane would I'm making a hypothesis that furnished places like this, especially in a somewhat safe area, there's very few and far between. So if something finds it, then it's most likely to want to keep it.
So it's like go for tortoise kind of deals.
I'm thinking like go for tortoise that wants to like rip our heads off and shit down our throat. Yeah.
But I mean, like, the go for tortoise makes the dome, and then the snakes move in, and then the other turtles move in, and the lizards.
Yeah. So if we could scout it out first. That'd probably be best to see if there's any. Like, hopefully, nothing has moved in here while we things off. I just think that's the safest option. No one hears proficient stealth, right?
No, we should really work on that, shouldn't we?
Man, for a skill monkey, you don't have a lot of skills.
If only someone here knew animal handling. What the fuck?
Don't you have expertise in stuff?
Yes, I do. That's one of my expertise.
That's the joke, Jesse.
I knew she had proficiency.
Good thing
I was
he's a-
trying to remember if she had expertise.
Yeah,
No, it's okay. You can excuse him. He's a halfling. Everything goes over his head.
And he's high. So it's a
No, I
high
came down a
half.
little while ago.
Oh, you came down a little while. Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah. It's good to see you. Glad you can see all of us with your fucking binoculars.
I got bigger ones. So I had every time I took
So
my
what
last
we
ones
need to
off.
we
it
need
was
to
hard
find where he
them.
hides his contacts, and even the board. Don't pick on him because of his glasses. Of all the things we could pick on him for, why the glasses?
No, I'm not picking on him because he has glasses. I'm picking on him because of the size of him.
He's just jealous. Here's your finger.
Oh, is that why women laugh at my penis? It's not because I have a penis. It's because of the size of it.
Oh, he knows I'm just messing
Of course.
I grew up with Jane.
Now, I will say that those glasses are large enough that they make you look cross-eyed.
See?
I honestly don't care. I lost.
They
my voice
fit your
so many
face
times.
nicely. Don't get me wrong, but there's just there's a certain moment where like you look at somebody and for a second your eyes look cross-eyed, and then you're like, oh no, never mind.
Right, and they fit your face very well. I just didn't realize you had such
Yeah.
a wide face.
I do need to get them a bit tighter because when I work, I sweat and I get all the water on my face and stuff, and they start falling down a bit.
Mhm.
It's really fucking
There's
annoying.
like some
The-
black stuff you
yeah.
can get.
Or tape.
Or tape. That works.
I mean, there's a
I
reason
honestly
why
don't know
that's.
if tape would stay on.
There's a reason why people think
No, you get the
The gorilla
Uh,
tape.
not well gorilla tape, yeah, but Jesus
At that point,
Christ.
just gorilla
All you
glue,
gotta
so
do is
it's
take a little thin strip, right, and then tape it to the bridge. of
No,
the
I was gonna
glasses, and
say,
then your forehead.
what's the medical tape that?
Yeah, like vet tape,
Yeah, it's like cloth-ish.
where it sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sticks
I know that
itself.
tape very
But it
well.
sticks really nicely to like skin, and
Yeah.
like you don't really have to worry too terribly much about like the
That's
moisture and
not bad,
whatnot. It works nicely.
If you get like the heavy wax stuff.
I was using medical tape for a while when I had this one after it got cut open.
Mhm.
And it started like taking
No.
skin off my
Yeah,
side
this
after a
this
while.
isn't tape, and yeah, that's one of the reasons why you should use paper tape for most of that stuff instead of tape because it'll take skin off. It's like the vet wrap, so like it's like what you put on the outside of like bandages, so it sticks to itself. Like when you donate blood,
Oh,
that stuff.
Yeah.
What were you using
Yep.
for your finger?
It works nicely. Like it's more resistant to the moisture.
mm.
So
So you get like the cheap, heavy wax, sticky stuff.
all right. So
We're scouting.
who's going in? Who's staying out? Who's doing what?
I'll go scout ahead. Can I ready a shot with my bow just in case?
Okay. Good to know.
As soon as I get the all clear, I'll be coming in and I'll light cast on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, well, I'm assuming we'll all follow. All
So
right.
y'all are just hanging out like at the entrance, or you guys going like a 10, 15 feet in where that bend is?
I figure,
Hanging out at the bench so I can keep an eye on her just around the corner. would probably
Yeah.
be best.
Thanks.
All right. Still with light on you?
Mhm.
Okay. So. Let's see. The light wouldn't go far enough into the chamber itself. So let me get a perception check. This is a straight roll
Because the disadvantage is
because the
negated.
disadvantage is negated.
I figured you were going to do that. 19 plus,
Plus ridiculous numbers.
yeah, so 27.
Using the bow to focus your vision, you can see further up ahead and around into the chamber. And by all appearances, everything looks the way that you guys had left it. The broken dolls up on the top shelf, the number of jars that you guys left behind, all full of random various ingredients for whatever foul purposes. All of the torches are completely out. There's no light itself inside of the space. Perfectly dark, and as far as you can hear, no sounds whatsoever.
Okay, I'll signal to them that it's safe, but I'm going to stay where I am with the walk past me.
As soon as I get the signal, I'm gonna head on in.
I'll go in instead.
My parakeets.
Okay. And you're staying back at the opening to the tunnel? Okay.
I'm with them, so as far
Yeah. But you're staying at the opening, or
where the bend was.
the transition, like the opening from the tunnel to the main layer area. Okay. So, letting everyone pass by you. Everybody, you know where to go to get to the cage?
Yeah.
Dark.
Okay. They seem okay, so I'm going to follow them.
You watch as the whole entire party passes by you. And the shifting of their shadows. And you watch as Gyato's shadow swings across the side of the wall, and one of the broken dolls falls off the shelf as his shadow passes by.
Ooh. Spooky.
You all hear the clatter of one of the dolls fall off one of the upper shelves.
Immediately stopping and going to look at where the sound came from.
Okay. Looking over, and you can see one of the broken and shattered dolls that's just laying there on the ground. Not moving. Just laying there.
And look up where it fell from.
Everything looks the same way that it looked before.
Yeah, that wasn't the doll, I would tell you.
Well, perhaps we should make this business quick.
Yep, let's do what we came to do.
Okay.
So we're heading into the dark room.
You are a weird
Okay.
little bastard.
So, heading into the dark room. One of the first things that you notice immediately is your light spell. Seems to be a little bit more effective now. Not a lot more, but you can see just a little bit further than you could before. It's definitely a noticeable change.
Okay.
Still oppressive, still clamping in on the light spell itself, but it doesn't seem to be quite as strong as it was before.
Okay. No, I bet if I was to dispel this darkness, it might actually stay dispelled this time.
Okay,
Up
let's
to
see.
you.
Let's give it a shot.
I don't want to waste it on it. I'm just saying it probably would happen.
Okay, I mean that's
Fine using the light.
huh?
We're fine working with lamps and lights.
It's just like, why would you suggest it if you weren't going to do it? It's just like, hey, I can do this, but it impacts nothing.
You already
Now you
understand.
know. It's just like, okay, I could save your life. I just want to let you know that.
That was such an R moment right there.
Yeah,
that was such an R moment.
That is so. Aren't you a cleric devoted to like giving and fucking charity? It's just
No.
like
We've
No,
already
not
learned
necessarily. He just wants to bring the light to the world
Mhm.
Using fireball.
well,
using fireball.
The liquid and the spell.
Yeah.
That I get that.
Jesse, can you grab me one of the Mountain Dews out of the fridge, please?
Which one?
What do I have in there? Just the orange and the
They're fine.
blue?
Purify
Orange
this
and
fucking
red.
room.
Orange
Nah,
and
fuck this whole
red.
plan.
Orange, please.
I feel that. I
Why
feel
would you
that.
say you could do it if you're just not gonna fucking do
Yeah.
it? It's just
I
like
have a little bit of tea
It takes
left
the
in
town
here,
of vanity.
and I think that the orange is going to go better with the tea than if I try to put Coke
like,
in there.
here's
Yeah.
my thing about it. It's just like if you are gonna stick your dick in the punch bowl at a party, you don't tell everyone that you could have done it before you do it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. You let them think about it.
That is
That's how
absolutely
more-
No.
No. I said
You're-
before you do it.
Your analogy is a little bit off because he's not casting, he's not dispelling the light.
But
So in
he
other
could.
words, he's the one at the party who's like, I can stick my dick in that punch bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you say it
But I'm
right
not.
next to Cody Cooper's who
Right.
will do
But
it.
I'm not gonna.
Right. Okay. Well,
I mean, do you really want me to?
Stick the dick
Stick
in
your
there.
dick
Get out the room.
I don't. No. I'm good. I'm good.
Get out the room. I'll
I
dispel
really
it.
don't like this Daniel.
Yeah, you're gonna dispel it with fireball.
No, with Radiance of Dawn, which is kind of like Fireball.
Yeah, I'm
Get out of
good.
the room.
No thanks, ma'am.
All right. So
Is-
bantering back and forth while you walk across the room.
Yeah. Is fam part of the local vernacular now? Do we have?
It's canon.
It's canon. Thank you.
At least in this part of the plane of Earth,
Yeah.
it's canon.
All right.
It's like teaching curse words to children where you can talk about the smart
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just wait until like later on in the campaign where you run across somebody who like summons an earth elemental and like
He
you'll
goes,
hear it.
"Yeet."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he yells yeet and like says, "Hey fam, how's it going?" Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean,
I do everything I can to make my world continuous.
that's fair.
Contiguous. Sorry, wrong word.
Both.
Anywho, so
Both.
we get in there,
Okay.
and it's a 20-foot cube. So I'd like to like map it out to where it's. I'm just gonna catch on the very bare edge.
Okay.
Like halfway.
Inspect it first.
Well, I want to make sure that I have it mapped out before we start doing stuff.
Now, you do have a basic idea of what the spell does, but this will technically be the first time you've cast it.
I mean, erupting Earth. So
Right.
off the name alone, I'm imagining Earth erupting. So
Right.
that's how I'm thinking of it.
You don't have a description.
No,
I have a
it does.
description.
He has an idea of how this spell works. He bought it from spellcasters, but this is his first time actually using it. So
You're talking about the generation that buys like game cards and foil packs. They don't know what they're getting. This is what they hope they're getting.
You
You're
know,
not wrong.
It's actually
So
he's
So-
he's hoping for a foil Charizard, and he might
I'm
actually
not
get.
hoping for foil Charizard. I'm hoping for
I was just like,
I'm hoping for a shiny alligator.
I didn't know he bought the spell
I
specifically, or
I
it came
don't
in
know
like
what that means.
It's literally the next gen.
Okay, I don't know
God
what this
damn
means.
it, James!
I have no idea what this stuff means.
okay.
Magic the Gathering.
Nobody
I-
cares.
Okay, I know what Magic the Gathering is, but
Right. Not something you play.
no, I played it like way back in the day when it first came out. I haven't played it in probably, 12, 13 years now? Maybe even more than that.
Okay, but it's not something you bought in like bulk and you have no idea what you got. Like you bought it on purpose because you know what it does.
Well, let's say he bought shiny fur alligator on eBay, but the guy had like a 3.5.
So let's discuss our options.
Well, yeah.
and-
I just want to make sure that I have.
You can do proper placement and all that stuff.
Okay.
But what effect it's going to have on this?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the key that I still have
Mhm.
and unlock it.
Okay, so deactivate the magical protections.
Now let's put Gyatso in it so we can inspect it.
Yeah. So do you want to go in there and take a peek?
Sure.
I like it.
I have shitty investigation. I have great perception.
Perfect.
No. So once he's in there, I'm going to close the door and lock it.
Okay.
I'm gonna reverse time on the cage.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Before you do that, because we're experimenting here.
Give it a couple seconds. You got 6 full seconds. Like
Like-
6 seconds.
Okay, so
I need you to.
you go inside the cage. You then lock him in.
Yeah.
You immediately feel a change in your body. You are used to being able to feel the pulse and ebb and flow of the energy around you. That's all gone. You don't feel the energy around you anymore. Not in you, not outside of you. You don't feel the energy that's been there forever.
I look at Goth and go, hey, I know you understand the energy. I can't feel shit right now, dude.
Okay, so you explain that specific information to me. Okay, that's good to know, because if I go just based off of what you fucking said, I don't get shit. So, based off of relaying the information, so this disrupts any magical connection.
Your connection is not magical.
I was just
Oh, fuck.
Let's put R in there.
No.
Does it exclamate you from your gods?
No. Not
Well,
getting in
it's-
that cage.
Okay.
Would you
So
do
hear
it
me
for
out.
a whiskey snack?
God damn it.
No.
I'm going to unlock the cage.
Your face goes flush. It's almost as if like somebody was choking you and all of a sudden let go and you can breathe again.
Can we see him doing that?
Are you trying to hide the fact, like your reaction?
No.
It's a noticeable reaction in him. Like his body almost jolts forward, like he's gasping for air almost,
Okay,
but
Doc.
he's not. No matter how much breath he takes, it doesn't assuage this. Like this.
Oh, so lock it again? No, I'm joking.
I'll shoot you again.
Why?
I have a shot ready.
He's fine.
Are you forgetting I have a shot ready?
No, I'm not forgetting it. You know, I'm waiting
Yeah,
on
she's
it.
literally just walking through the room like.
Skyrim style.
Oh, yeah, full on Skyrim style. Okay.
As soon as I can move again, I'm getting the fuck out of that cage.
All right.
I'm gonna
All
look at
right.
Goth
Alright.
and go, never do that
Literally
shit again.
quicker than the blink of an eye, you watch as he kicks off of one of the bars and he's out. He is out of the cage.
Okay.
Alright.
Is it uniquely unpleasant?
Very much so.
Okay. So how? Again, one more time. What were the dimensions for?
Oh, we're seeing tricky ones, but- oh wait, no.
It's 5 foot by 5 foot by 3 foot tall. 5 foot wide, 5 foot deep, 3 foot tall.
Oh, pretty big.
Yeah, 5 foot, 5 foot, 3 foot.
Okay.
And best guess estimate that you guys had gotten from the last time you were here was this thing is. You don't know how much it weighs, but it's easily well over 2,000 pounds.
Would we benefit from knowing if would we know that it's not magical energy that we're having issues with? Do we need to see someone with no magic? I don't know anything about it.
I mean, why not?
I need to see if it affects its like spell as well.
I mean, I can cast light on you and then you can go back in the cage.
Nope.
I still want to see how it affects you and your god.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Do you have something prepared for that?
I have something prepared for all of this, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Ask
He knew we
questions.
were
Let's
coming
find out.
here.
I can't go in.
Sure you can.
No, I cannot go in.
Oh yeah, fucks with your war style.
No, it
Do you
fucks with
not
my
have
staff.
legs, Lieutenant Dan?
Not gonna go in.
Okay. I'll go in there and then put my pack. No, I'm not gonna go in there.
Okay,
Change his
well,
mind.
I'm gonna just.
I don't want to freak Umber out.
I'm gonna close the door with nobody in there.
Can I
I'd
can
leave
I
it
check
unlocked.
in with Umber
leaving it
and
unlocked.
see, try and explain like we're gonna try and experiment, but I don't know how he's gonna feel about it, how they're gonna feel about it. I know we're still working on communication. That's what I'm trying to work
Yeah.
on simple terms.
Um,
Emotional terms.
getting the sense of your emotions, there's a feeling of trepidation, uncertainty, but it kind of mimics your curiosity because it doesn't really know exactly what it's. doesn't know what is going to happen, but it has enough of a connection to you to share at least your curiosity.
I can try and share that I kind of feel that way too. There's the curious, but there's the unknown, and like together. Okay. I'll try and go in, but you gotta fucking let me out.
Oh yeah, no. Like I'm gonna be like lock, 1, 2, unlock.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to leave all my stuff other than clothing and armor.
Okay.
And go into the cage.
Okay.
And go against everything that I fucking believe in.
Not what I expected.
Okay.
And while you stand right by the door.
No, I'm not. I have no reason to keep you in there.
Okay. Crawling into the cage.
Lock, 1, 2.
The second the cage is locked, you hear an immediate mental shriek in your head as you watch as Umbra begins to flicker back and forth between leather armor and soft, squishy, gelatinous creature. And the second that the cage is turned back off again, it solidifies into the armor that you're familiar with, and there's a definite feeling of pain.
Alright, yep. Bolt out. And we're going to sit over in the corner and we're going to aftercare.
Yikes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, ooh, and that's why you're all bad tops. You're not doing aftercare.
No, but no one's gonna talk about it in fucking D&D.
We talk about like multi-shaped penises.
I mean,
and everything else.
Yeah,
Talk
that's
about
fair.
anything healthy. Nobody this healthy shit in here.
Speaking of which, have you ever seen an echidna's penis?
It's really weird.
It's like a penis, but it has like 4 arms that come off of it.
Mhm.
Fucking crazy.
I feel
I
like
really
little
am
turtle
afraid
ones
of your
with-
search history.
I feel like more.
I don't know. I haven't gotten anybody knocking on my door or phone calls. So whatever
I think
FBI
they're
agent,
afraid to show up.
yeah, whatever FBI agent I've got is either really cool or really fucked up. I don't know
Or he's
which.
kind of scared.
Or he's
Or
like,
he's afraid to show up.
or he's like immature.
Did you just Google an echidna's?
I was curious.
I feel like the reptiles are like little turtles, little shovels.
Mhm. All right. So, what's the next step? What you guys doing?
Gonna put the portable hole in the wall for a second. Well, not for more than a second. Put the portable hole up there. Get everything out. And then, is there a way?
Is his desk magically locked?
Hmm?
What?
We're busy. Aftercare takes time. We all know this.
Well, I mean, you would know. You were the one who unlocked it in the first place. It's a well-made,
Oh,
though
it's that
unremarkable.
desk.
Yeah, it's the desk from the
It's
Necromancer's
that
suite.
desk.
Please leave my desk alone.
I want to start opening drawers.
Why? It serves no purpose. You already know what's in there.
Because every time you hear that drawer open, you're going to twitch.
That's a
If
perfect
the only
answer.
intent is to fuck with me and not for you to take anything, fine. Do what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But you don't know.
I'm gonna reach my hand in there and not even look, rustle some papers.
Oh, that's bothering me as a person. Oh, I don't like this.
Hey, Ari, you want to
Switch
go
your
look in there
papers
with the
between
fireball?
drawers.
Paperweights just slide like a cat
I'll
out
put
to
you
the
back in the
edge.
cage.
I'm not going back in that cage.
I wasn't asking.
Oh, you
That's
just-
what something happens. He's just start
Good
getting
luck
grumpy and
pinching me.
arguing. I just feel like a cat. He's like, grind.
It's like a,
You
it's like
can't
a little
move.
book.
You're
It's
going
like
in
where
the
you hear it
cage.
like grind across the field.
Yeah.
Happening, but
What's the
Edgar's the one in the hole. Fucking
what's the rent in dimension door?
500. Yeah, no. I don't got it. On top of that, I don't have to catch you. If you don't move, you can go in the cage.
Okay.
Anyways.
do we want
Alright,
him to
so-
have this cage?
It could potentially be useful. Very much so. I think so.
Especially when our dumbass paladin might return.
Especially
If he ever stops being a dumbass. We'll have this if he goes back to being
I was thinking more like the angels.
I was thinking to attempt to study it, replicate its effect, and reverse it.
That grumpy ass dude from the fire plane probably would fit in
Exactly.
there, would he? He could fit in there.
Ooh.
You Fandler?
No, the Planet Fire dude that you
No.
guys
Yeah.
stole
The
from.
fire.
The guy that we pissed
Oh.
off. He's not gonna fit in there.
Salazar?
Yeah. He won't fit in
Salamanders are very
there.
large.
Large,
They're huge, aren't they?
They're a large creature, technically.
Technically.
The thing you guys pissed off is a giant salamander.
He was on the. They're called salamanders. Yeah, Salazar himself. Your players or your characters wouldn't know this, but he's actually on the small side for a salamander.
That's why he's grumpy.
It's also why he's a trumped up paper pusher.
Anywho, is there any space between the cage and the wall directly behind it?
Yeah.
Very, very, very small gap.
Very, very small gap.
Remember, I thought that's
Just
what we did
less
last
than a
time.
quarter of an inch.
I'm gonna shimmy the portable hole after it's been emptied, right behind it, and get it locked into place.
Okay.
All right, anything else before I blast it?
I'm making sure it's unlocked, but
You guys still haven't inspected the damn thing.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
And they inspected it the last time they were here.
No, to make sure, like,
they
the
could see
floor
the
and-
runes, the whole
But
thing.
we were gonna check about the floor, see if it's attached.
Yeah,
That's what we came back.
I
Okay.
would like to go ahead and investigate and inspect the floor,
Okay.
see if it's inset into the floor, like if the floor has a space cut out and it sits in it, or if it's
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Do you want help with that? Or are you good?
I could use a little bit of help.
Hey, let Vander help you.
Hey,
Can you do both?
What's that?
Like if I give him advantage because I'm proficient.
Yeah, I mean, if you're helping him look at it, yeah.
all right, sweet. So I get advantage.
Oh!
Crit.
Okay.
All right, so 20, but
For a
advantage.
total of.
No, let's
I-
do the advantage.
We have to
Double
see it,
20,
please.
double 20.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh,
All right, so that's 23 for rolls.
Shit.
That's gonna be 31.
You almost got a
Okay.
perfect roll.
Yeah, I know. God, fuck.
Looking at the
I gotta remember I
cage
can do that.
very carefully.
Mm.
Are getting the light in the right place. You can see that the cage itself is slightly sunk into the floor, but conferring with Arkin and her knowledge of such things, this cage was not purposefully set into the floor. It has sunk into the solid stone.
It's that level of heavy. That's heavy as fuck.
A quick puff of breath along the edge raises a cloud of stone dust. The weight of the cage has pulverized the stone below, and it is slowly sinking itself into the stone.
Well, you create a portable hole in the ground and like slid it below the cage.
There's
not gonna work
There's no
that way.
space
We'll
underneath
never be able to
it.
get the fucking cage out of this bitch either. If we do get it in the hole.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Okay, fuck it. God
You sure?
damn it. Yeah, fuck it. However, I'm not giving up on it. I'm giving up on taking it. All right. Grab the portable hole, shimmy it back out, put it against the wall. After we get everything back in there, you were opening doors and fucking. Right? I'm just gonna go back and like check things and just.
Yeah,
Okay.
The whole time you're talking, I was doing this. That's why.
5 minutes later,
Yeah.
having all of your papers back in order, there's one missing.
Which one?
Kind of hard to tell.
Fuck.
Is it regarding my research papers for the fluid that Balok had let me study. Because everything I've studied in there, I've kept pretty good track of in my head. Oh,
Oh,
what did you take? What paper did you take? Oh. Is it the paper regarding...
There's a paper that's regarding the research for the Mind Flayer skull and how to turn that into a focus that's missing.
Arkin, do you have something?
Friendship?
Something physical? I would like it back, please.
I don't have anything.
she's not rolling for deception.
No, she's not. Well,
Oh,
hold
right.
on. According to James' rules, if as far as persuasion, deception, and all that, if it's physically, if you
It's
can
a damn doll.
Oh, God damn it! I'm looking around for the dolls.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
I'll help you with that. Would you have said that out loud? Like,
Oh, it's just like, has anyone seen a fucking doll?
Did
I'll
you
ask
hear me
Lathander.
say anything? No.
No.
We would have said something we saw a doll.
Did you lose something?
I lost the paper regarding how to make a focus from a Mind Flayer skull.
Want me to help you look?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to put guidance on myself and see if I can't locate it quickly.
Yeah, I'm looking around for a doll.
Okay, what are you looking for?
His paper.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
I don't know.
Can I look for dolls?
Man, that couldn't have rolled worse.
I would like to roll for my and look for my paper.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
I got 12 total.
Fuck.
Nothing in this room.
Can
I got 12.
roll-
Nothing
You guys
in this
want me
room.
to look for your paper or for the dolls?
Either one.
I want to look for the dolls.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'm gonna lucky that.
Okay.
Oh
Amazing.
I still would
Fuck.
have been 1 point higher than you guys, so shut up. 15.
There aren't any dolls in sight.
All right. Well, I'm closing up
Would
the portal
those
hole.
plane thingies, undead that you're talking about, would they be able to grab one?
They haven't shown any, from what I understand, from what we've seen so far, they haven't had any physical effect.
Is it a magic paper or is it normal paper?
It's magic. It's normal paper, but
Details of magical process.
Okay, but it's not like magic in and of
it's not
itself.
inherently magical. Though. It was not made. It wasn't ever made magical either.
Very, 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 very minor protective spells that are like fading,
Yeah,
but
I need that fucking paper. I'm gonna hit your brother.
Kill him.
justifiable.
He crit.
Justifiable. That's why you don't just randomly roll die.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Just you get one.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna continue looking for
I
my.
guess we're gonna look for the paper.
I'll step back out into the
I'm
main
going,
chamber.
but we don't know
Okay.
what
and
happened,
do
so
a
I'm going to
perception
get.
for the for any paper.
Okay.
Actually, before I do, Doth, is there anything specific about this paper that we could look for?
Let's see, your light, it covers the room, right?
Any
Just the light?
colors that we could look for? Or something like that?
It would have a diagram of several rings that fit together in a very specific way that look to be focusing something.
Right.
Would you tell me?
Okay,
Yes.
I forget.
I'll be
So
looking around for that
Ours
specific.
light goes how far out
It's
in the dark
what did we
room?
figure it was? It was originally
Like
it's a
15?
10 foot or 15 and 15.
I think we said
I think 10 and 10 sounds right.
And how large
10
is
and
the
10
room?
sounds right. So it would have been It would have been half that, which would have been just barely above 5. So it's now closer to like the 10, but no dim.
How large is the room again?
Oh, you forgot your book this time?
I don't have the
Decent but not crazy. This would have been probably 20 foot by 20 foot.
So it covers
Walmart
about
has
like
one for 34.
a quadrant at a time.
Just about, yeah.
Or do you want? I'm gonna ready a shot because I don't know what grabbed it.
What are you looking for?
The paper.
The paper itself? Okay.
22.
What is that?
Nothing visible from this area.
If you want to mind walking with me, we can do like. the
Oh,
perimeter of
wait.
the room.
Yeah, I said I was
You're,
walking down the
yeah,
chamber.
you're out of the light. Roll with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. 9.
Hello?
Yeah. I can't find. There's no sign of any paper whatsoever. Like even the hags, the only paper that was found in this whole entire area was the book itself.
It's normally 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Ah,
normally
okay.
2020, it'd
So
be
it
like
would have
10.
been. It would have originally been
10 by
10 foot, no dim. It's now 15 foot with a little bit of dim.
So I can essentially see the whole room, but the edges are foggy. Kind of.
Yeah, we'll call it basically. Yeah, like the corners are pretty foggy.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Well, then I don't need you to follow me.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready a shot, and
With the underguard,
I think you kind of do a sweep of the room, looking for the paper while they're diddling outside.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make a roll.
Am I doing perception?
Yes, perception. Well, I mean, yeah. If you're just taking a look around the room, it's perception. If you're like hands-on all over the place,
No, I'm gonna
That's
just
investigation.
do looking before I touch the let that shot.
perception.
Do I get 2?
Are you looking for the paper, or are you looking for the dolls? What are you looking
I'm
for?
gonna look for the paper. I didn't see the doll,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna look for the
Okay.
paper. But I don't know what grabbed it, so I got an 18. Do I get to roll again for advantage?
Yes, because you are in the area of the light, and the
Okay, I'm just checking.
95% of the room is in
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
light. Yeah,
thinking. Kind of.
you're good.
So 18 or yes, we'll do 18. 21. So 30 odd.
30. Nice roll.
Thank you.
Focusing your vision through the bow itself, giving you the ability to like more closely focus your vision on each individual section of the room.
Mhm.
You can feel incredibly confident that the paper itself is not in this room in any visible place.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the door and call out to them like, Doc, I really don't think the paper's in here. So either something made off with it or it's been misplaced. Would it be anywhere else?
It couldn't be anywhere else. All my papers for that were in the one place they were moved from. The only time things were being moved is like in and out of the desk.
What were the odds that it could have fallen out of the desk moving and still in the portable hole?
I'll put the portable hole back up and ask Art, stand in front, keep your light up.
Okay.
We'll go in there and I will search again.
Okay. Hands on or visually?
Hands on.
Okay. Go ahead, make an investigation check.
12.
Can I
As far as
help
you can
him
tell,
with
doesn't look like it's here. You're moving things around. Doesn't look like it's here.
that? Does he look frustrated?
He would be slamming drawers at this point.
Can I go help? Dropping my gear? You better not laugh. You gotta remember that shit too now.
Oh, God.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
With items comes responsibility.
Oh, you've got a portable hole now?
No, the quiver.
Oh, that's true.
Put the
The
mechanics.
quiver,
Yeah.
2 bags of holding, and a portone hole.
Yeah. Nothing's
We
ever
could
going to happen.
really fuck some shit up.
Nothing's ever going to happen, right?
It's not like you're setting us up for failure.
One day, one of us is accidentally going to walk inside of your portable hole.
Did you
and
say
fucking just fuck
did you say
everything.
somebody or the one who always comes stoned and who forgot the new item that he just got handed?
I didn't forget it. I'm not walking into the purple hole.
And
This
with that
time-
attitude, you never will.
This time.
If I walk
All
in,
right,
I'm definitely
so-
gonna think-
You're going to go ahead and help him investigate? Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm lucky that one too. Let's hope this isn't a fighting day.
Let's see.
23.
There's
Come on.
lots of ways for a DM to make you guys burn some resources.
Yeah, I know. 23 mod.
23. You can feel pretty damn confident that it's not in his portable hole.
Is it stuck to my shoe?
No, that's an easy check. No, it is not stuck to your shoe.
It's stuck to my shoe.
No.
Yeah, just do a twirl real quick.
Yeah,
Or
no,
make it
I'm
like-
flopping out like
Like a dog
No.
and right kick me on the back and stick it to something. Like,
Golf, I do believe it's going.
That's not good.
dead
That's
Jim.
really not good.
Would anything want that?
A lot of things could want that. Yes.
Can we look for magic stuff?
I mean, take a look.
I really don't want to do that right this second.
I mean, what else do you... what
After we get out of the portable hole and we move R out of the way, because I just have him standing in the front in the entrance, not inside the portable hole.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What if you use the magical sight while in your portable hole, hopefully keeping them away from you, maybe?
That.
Or you're going to lead them into your portable hole
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a portable
Definitely.
ghost thingy.
It's a good point. Good point. Because nothing in there says, in the portable hole says that enemies can't enter.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Sure.
Okay, so everyone's out. It was in there. I want to take a quick percent. I just want to make sure that nothing is in there that's not supposed to be in there. Well, I'm looking for anything out of place.
Okay, go for it. Make a perception check.
You know, I'm gonna use you.
Does
Can I
this
use
feel
mine?
drafty in
No, I'm
here?
good. I'm good. I got this.
Other than like,
I
I mean,
can
No.
do
there's
this.
like cold, but the actual
No.
draft.
You've made enough perception checks in this area that there is a feeling of movement to the air, but it's not drafty. And it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Based on descriptions from R, you can almost tell that it's it's a barely perceptible movement of like the
Normal
excess
airflow,
magic
but,
that's in this area that's just simply moving the air around. What you would have seen as far as like the actual like magical fog,
Yeah.
that's effectively what her perception checks would have shown at this
Right.
point.
17.
17. As far as you can tell, there's nothing in here that seems to be out of place or that shouldn't be here.
Oh no, sorry. Perception. 14. My bad.
14. Yeah. Same.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. Okay. Folding up the portable hole, putting it in my pocket. We'll go out to the main area and see
Okay.
with R, with light.
with
Or are you just going to do this as a group? Let's just move as a group at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. What you doing?
See, now my suspicions have been arisen, and I know that the only little fucking moving things that were left in here were the dolls.
You don't.
So I'm gonna look back up on the shelf.
What about that whole?
Well, the dolls
the
and
hole?
the Rimaros.
Yeah, we're not. I don't know what we're talking about.
What about the hole where I stuck my head in for the last one? I'm not doing it again. You can pull up a chair and stick your head in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a chair. And I'm somewhat taller than you, aren't I? How tall are you?
Like 5'9", 5'10",
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
6 foot. Not
To be
much.
able to actually look inside of that, you would
I'm
still
still
need a
gonna be-
little bit of extra.
Use Piazza, that's what I did.
Would a chair work?
You'd have to do the same thing she did. You'd have to balance up on the back of the chair
Yeah,
in order to be able to do it.
that's fine.
It's not that difficult, putting the chair there. You have the shelves to stabilize yourself, so
Right.
it doesn't require a roll for you to get up.
Right.
What else?
Gyatso, hold on to my staff for a moment. Stand next to me, please. Do not move.
Do you want someone to hold you? Because R held me.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'll hold you.
Do you want to? Are you doing one hand or two hands?
Two hands.
Okay.
Coming up.
Okay.
Sticking my head in.
All right. You've used illusion spells yourself. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you've experienced them.
Okay.
You know the basic concept. Your vision goes black for just half a second before your vision comes back, and you can see right there on the bottom of the opening is a piece of paper.
Got it.
Reaching in, grabbing a piece of paper. Reaching in, grabbing the piece of paper, you start to pull your hand back out. And something grabs your arm from the side.
Yeah, that's startling. So I'm gonna it grabs my arm, not the paper.
It grabs you by the forearm.
Cool. I'm gonna grab it back.
Can you reach it?
You can feel, when you reach in to grab the arm, you can feel cloth-covered bone.
I'm
Pull up
falling
your jaw.
backwards. Catch me.
All right. Go ahead and make a strength check. Just strength check. D20 plus your strength modifier.
Did I feel anything when I touched this down?
18.
18. As you go to fall back, you use your feet to just kick yourself back a little bit, to give yourself a little bit of extra force. The hand tries to hold on, but slips off as you fall backwards.
With the paper?
I saw the paper.
You still have the paper in your hand.
The whole paper is not removed.
It'll be saying,
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage from falling.
Okay.
I would reverse the damage on you, but if I do, you'll probably end up back in the hole.
No.
So.
You can take the 8.
Did you find it?
I'm gonna look at the paper real quick, and I'm reaching up to grab
Is
my
anything
staff.
coming out of
Yeah,
the hole?
so-
Is anything coming out of the hole? Is the hole doing anything?
Everybody's looking at it. The hole is not doing anything. There's nothing there that you can visually see.
Can I do a quick sweep of the room? See if anything else is coming for us?
Certainly, go for a perception check. Do you have your bow out?
Yeah, I want to.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
I was worried with that stupid 12 doll, but now apparently it's something else. So 13 plus 8, so 21 mod.
Okay. Doing a quick sweep of the room, you catch what looks to be the back edge of a foot at about 6 inches above the floor as it disappears around the corner where the hag's rooms are. Sweeping further, you watch as one of what looks to be a blank porcelain face disappears into one of the larger jars. Another one just barely lays back down behind one of the broken ones on the upper shelf.
Oh, I'm gonna scream. It's goddamn dolls.
As you see that it is the piece of paper that you were looking for. And looking at it, you can see the handprint on your arm. You take 9 points of necrotic damage. As you see, the skin itself is blackened and almost cracked around where you can see the actual fingerprints.
Okay. These things are fucking assholes. Neat. Do I recognize it as necrotic damage?
You would recognize it, yes.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and I will stand up, grab my staff back, I'm gonna fold up my paper and I'll put it into a pocket. We need to get out of here. And or if you could do me a favor as we leave, light the bitch up.
Doesn't your
Sure,
thing-
why not?
Doesn't your thing target all hostile creatures within a certain range?
Yeah, technically I don't have to
Something
wait till
fucking
y'all
with us.
leave.
Something fucking with us is not hostile. That's a big.
No.
He said that on camera. He said that on camera. He said that on
I
camera.
said something, not
He said that on
someone.
camera.
Okay. These things are controlled by someone who is fucking with us.
So
That does not necessarily mean he is hostile to us.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
No, I think it's pretty hostile.
all right.
Maybe to you.
Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly,
Okay.
let's just read it.
Dolls
We
are
have no
still
need to
fucking
be here.
here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Remember,
Took my shit.
remember like 2 sleeps ago, and it was like, yeah, sure, dolls. Okay.
We can come back here once he finishes his holy fuck.
Hey, Ari, you still want to like genocide something?
What do you want me to genocide?
The dolls. We're being very specific about this. Like, this isn't like a moral conundrum at this point. It's more like these things keep fucking with us.
As
and
soon as you find a way to kill them,
Wait,
okay.
so-
The handprint that's on your arm,
Mhm.
far larger than one of the doll prints.
Oh, that's bothersome.
Yeah, and how would a doll cause necrotic and everything? It's
That's
like,
a good point.
Do you think could the necromancer be sending like body part thingies to run off with your stuff? I don't know how necromancers work. Would the necromancer like
Oh, fuck.
be trailing us with something?
The necromancer would have no Well, I don't. We've not done anything personally to the necromancer yet.
Okay, but
If
he would
we-
only have to know about us if we personally attack him, not us running through the tunnels, disrupting all these other
Well,
things.
he would even to perform any kind of divination on us, to be able to see us, like rather than physically tailing us. You know, he would have to possess something of ours.
I mean, we've been running around these tunnels forever.
Have you read the divination spell?
We've been
No.
staying at the Snurknevlin village that he destroyed, like attacked, in between our visits to there. There's no reason to think that he might not have seen us come in or through the tunnels or anything. Are we being? I don't know how that works. So could we be tailed by undead from the necromancer?
Which necromancer? It's escaping
I don't
my
know.
mind right now.
The necromancer we're supposed to fight after
The one,
killing
the one that killed all the Snurknevlin after we came back to the village. It was all
the one
destroyed.
the necromancer, the damage that you were healing in the village while
Oh.
you
Deeply upset by
yeah.
all the dead people.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
were getting the fuck out.
Okay.
Should we try?
Making sure that we have everything and just getting the fuck up.
That would be like a physical hand, right? Not like a divination hand thingy. I don't know how that works.
Well, I physically felt something.
I love how it's both R and Laura going magic.
Arkin, did you pick your equipment back up after you
Yeah.
go?
I wouldn't have left it in the
So-
dark, unsupervised room when things are getting stolen.
There is a magical hand you can lob at people that will do necrotic damage. My character doesn't know that.
Okay. But
Also, like through divination, you can get a sight on someone. So if you have a way to, that's.
but would
sketchy.
that have worked though? Because trying to do the whole group and like dragging the paper. My idea is like if I just kind of see like a hand basically like trying to escape with the paper.
I assume you guys are walking and talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we're getting the
Very
fuck up out of here.
briskly.
Yeah, but-
Okay.
yeah, I have no intention.
At this point, you've got probably about an hour left before you're ready to like actually like bunk down for the night.
Mhm.
So
How far can I see around us now that we're going around the tunnel? No, back to the tunnel. Not so secret.
we talking about the Hag's Lair tunnel, or
Well, we're out.
tunnel?
We're out by now, right?
Right,
We're,
yeah.
We're in
That's
like
what I was
the
thinking,
ri-
like,
the
as far as, like,
river- we're
further
back,
up?
like the riverbed tunnel, kind of.
About like just as you get outside of the Hag's tunnel, it's the same slow, very subtle curve to the right hand side that you had seen when you came out here the last time when you were you and Umbra were
Yeah.
one. So it's that same gentle curve going off to the side.
What kind of lighting?
No lighting out there. I mean, R would probably still have his light spell up, I'm assuming, correct?
20 feet.
Pretty much all
So,
this.
yeah, 2020. It's covering a large portion of the tunnel where you're at currently, and, the same 20 feet in front and behind.
I kind of want to look around and see if anything's trailing us as we walk.
Okay. You bringing up the rear? You going up ahead?
No, I think
Where you wanna go?
I think with this, I'm going to be the rear. I want to see if something's following us.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I want to look deeper into like the dim light with dark vision and try and see movement more, like following us, or if I want to stick to what's lit.
As I say, if you're taking up the rear, I'd probably be close to the front, so you would be out of my stuff most likely.
Well, it's also a matter, like, if you're looking for anything that's within the light or dim light, then it'll be normal and you'll have advantage on it.
Can I do one for each?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and do as everybody's walking, if you want to go ahead and, kind of scan the area inside of the lit area, just kind of nonchalantly before you fall back, yeah, I'll allow that. Sure. I'm assuming bow out.
Yes. Yeah, I want to see if something's.
Certainly. Go ahead.
So first
Perception
one is
check
that-
at advantage.
And then the second one will just be one straight roll.
Correct.
After I've seen all this after we also seen all this magic and shit, and we've seen the illusions, and we think someone's following us, he's gonna look around real fast and just hit all the nearby rocks and everything with aura sight and see if he can find a target hiding somewhere.
Okay. That's easy enough. I mean, a quick scan around. There's no attachments. There's no life signs. Nothing that gets a target. Okay. Perception check inside the light.
26.
Man,
26. Okay.
I want a higher roll for the dark. Higher roll for the dark.
Let me do some quick math real
No,
quick.
you're good. You're good. Math?
This would be
Quick math.
Not like amphetamine.
Which room we took these to?
Amphetamines. I'm not gonna have enough for the dim one.
Yeah, no? Okay. Using the bow to focus your vision, taking a scan around the whole entire lit area. Your eyes catch off to one side, off to the left-hand side, about a fist size, very, very faintly to your sight, glowing red eye.
And it's just there.
It's just there.
Is it blinking or moving?
It's moving along with you, staying in the same exact spot.
How far away is that, roughly?
It's positioned almost up to the 45-degree angle of the tunnel, positioned about 1.5 feet away from the stone.
That's within the lit area, so it's within like 20 feet of us.
There, you flick it off.
I mean, I'm staring at it, it probably doesn't see it anyway.
That's up to you. I mean, you're a road. If you wish to allow your vision to pass over it, then I will allow you a deception check so that it doesn't know whether you're looking at it. But it's up to you. Do you want it to know or do you not?
I still want to see what's behind it, so I'm still going to look into the dim light. Anyway, I feel like whatever's following us, I can't do much about it at this point. I'm going to try and look into the dark, still fall back a little bit into the dark.
Okay. Are you trying to make it so that the eye doesn't know that you saw it or no?
Yeah, so I'm not going to try and look at it instead. I'm just going to acknowledge that, I saw it. I'm going to keep sweeping.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a deception check.
Maybe be good, please.
Clown.
I pulled it out this morning.
Oh my
brought it
God.
out, and just put it back in the fridge.
I'm gonna use my last lucky. We got to have this fucking tunnel.
No, the plate has a lot of water on it. It's fragile.
Okay.
Well, all right, Shaky McShakerton.
Yeah. All right, Cody.
18.
18. Okay. I will note that.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. And I got a 22 for the dark light.
Okay, for the straight roll.
Yeah, but then
Okay. Falling back, using your bow to focus your vision through the darkness. Doesn't appear like anything's falling.
Alright.
The air seems still, no sounds. Nothing seems to be moving.
When I use the communication
Oh, that's good, dude.
stones,
The sending stone.
the sending stone, sorry, do I have, is it a verbal word that I'm using or is it mental?
It is verbal,
Okay.
but you can make it as quiet as you want to, and the person hears it as if it's normal.
Do they
It's
hear
not
it
like it's not a sound outside of them. It's a sound
in
inside
their
their
head?
head.
Okay,
Correct.
so
You have to verbally speak it, but you can literally go as quiet as you want to.
how far is the group away from me at this point?
How far would you have let yourself fall back?
Probably just however long it took to naturally do a sweep.
Okay. Probably 20.
So that's about 20 feet away.
Probably, you would probably go out to about the 60-foot, maybe 70-foot mark to get a good view into the darkness without the light messing with your vision.
And when I did the sweep, I don't see the eye.
Not from out here, no.
Okay. I'm going to bend over to the ground like I'm adjusting my pack
Mhm.
and try to just talk into my hand.
Okay.
I can only do one stone at a time, correct?
Correct. You have to use one stone at a time.
I'm going to say to Doff
Okay.
as quietly as I can, like up against like my pack in my hand, like I'm
Mhm.
searching something real quick, just saying, I think we're being tailed, but nothing physical. I'm coming.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and, fix my shoes, head back to the
To the
group.
group. Okay. You would have heard that probably about 10 to 20 seconds before Arkin ends up showing up.
Okay. All right. Noted. Okay. So as we go about, we get to the point to where we feel like we're ready to rest.
You would have reached the same spot that you had rested when Arkin was taken by the hags.
I'm assuming you want to go a little further, or is here okay?
Oh, there's no more hacks as far as we know.
As far as we know.
As far as you know.
Daniel still has that charge on his ring. R still has a charge on his ring.
Yeah, I'm full charged. Maybe.
Yeah, so we can still do hack abortions. We're fine.
All right. So, bedding down this area.
Leomans.
Okay.
Guardian of Faith.
Behind or in front. It's the same basic setup. This entire area kind of widens out. Again, like ages ago, water flowing through here. This was just an area where it swirled and kind of ate away the sides a little bit. So you have a narrowing of the tunnel here and a narrowing of the tunnel behind you.
I guess slightly behind.
Okay.
Still basically above the bubble. The hut.
And I'm going to make it as
I know there's contention on this one. The Guardian must be standing on something physical.
Someone around.
Okay. I'll just have him standing right in front of the bubble.
Just right in front of the bubble, like behind you, the way that you had come.
Why don't
Yeah.
we put a rock on the top of the dome and just have him
This will be
sit on
fine.
the rock?
Okay,
And you have the hut up.
good to know.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna try and just do what we've been doing.
The hut.
Just naturally.
Yeah,
try
that
to
makes sense. I did say
Look
that.
around, make sure everything's safe before we go in, and touch base with Umbra.
Okay,
What we've been doing before we go to bed, basically checking every day.
okay. Umber's feeling better from earlier. Still a little shaky. There's still a tinge of fear as far as what had actually happened, and more confusion than before. But overall, it seems to have weathered it pretty well. What do you mean by checking the area?
We usually kind of like just a normal sweep before we go in.
Everyone just want one or two.
Just one for me.
Yeah, just one will be fine. Thank you.
But now I'm definitely wanting to keep an eye over that eye. I want to see if it's followed us this far.
Okay.
So before we all end up in the hut, I'm going to do one more sweep before we.
Okay. With R outside of the while R is outside,
R.
before going in.
Do you stand out?
Well,
or
you would
go in
be
behind
ritually
the
casting
Yeah, I'd be
Guardian, right?
casting Guardian of Faith right now.
How long
Right.
does that take?
If I
Roughly
remember right, it's just
5
an
minutes,
action.
2 seconds.
6 seconds. Pretty
Is
sure.
that long enough to do a sweep around the?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, kind of keeping an eye out before he starts casting, having a little bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
certainly.
To play, I try to play fair.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll perception. This would be at advantage. I'm assuming you still have your bow up and
Yeah.
knocked.
So 16.
Yeah, 6 seconds.
Are you keeping the dome opaque like
Okay,
usual?
fucker.
No, I'm making it dark as shit.
Okay.
That's another 16.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm making it. The dome's gonna be
So
dark.
24 mod.
Like I'm gonna try to blend it to the stone as best as I possibly
Mhm.
can, but no more opaque.
okay.
No more of that shit. We don't need any more of our friends getting kidnapped.
So 24 mod.
24. Okay. Taking a real good look around the area. No eye.
Okay.
Once I step into the hut and I'm actually safe, I would like to activate the belt real fast, just so I can feel the effect out of sight of combat for the first time.
Okay. While you're inside of the hut.
Sitting down, Francis anxious.
All right.
Listen.
He likes mentioning things when you use it for the first time inside of combat, so I'm not letting him put some thing on this if I use it for the first time in combat.
You can only reverse time with one person at a time.
No, just mind your business. With all of us in the hut.
Well, no one else has stepped in the hut yet.
I'm already. Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't ask.
Right. Yeah.
You're
You
moving
can't.
She was
forward, man.
outside doing
Complete-
stuff. He was outside doing stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah, and
That's
after I complete the hut, I'm in the hut. Like the hut
Right.
springs up around me.
And he
Oh.
cannot leave the hut, otherwise the hut disappears.
Yeah, no. So there's never no one in the hut. Because if
Right.
no one's in the hut, that means there's no hut.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you can get the
No
fuck
one
out of
else
the
is in
hut.
the hut.
It is a matter. Yeah. I love how twice today we've had magic. What? And we have. I don't fucking know what's magic.
I mean, activating it in there with him doesn't
Oh, it's
really
mad.
do anything.
If
We don't
you-
know. We're gonna find out, aren't
Oh.
we, Jesse? And isn't it by a certain range? So the centennial and the spell casting is going in. Okay.
I'm letting you know right now.
You're activating the belt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll that beautiful beef footage, kids. Here we go. Let's find out what happens.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spit.
Reaching down to where the belt buckle is, you flip the hourglass over, and as the sand starts drifting down into the lower section, the world around you slows down to a crawl. You can feel yourself blinking, and it's almost as if like you're moving through thickened air, like almost through water, because you can feel the air against your eyelashes as you blink. As you watch as R and Arkin slowly move through the hut before sitting down. And just sitting there taking everything in, just trying really hard not to really show what's going on. And you're just watching everybody move, almost as if they're like moving through molasses. And then finally, the last of the sand drips into the bottom of the hourglass, and your vision goes black. And as your vision comes back to again, everybody's moving at their normal speed.
No one seems like they noticed anything.
Since he
well,
was the first one
him.
coming in, I still would have watched him.
Right?
Yeah,
would you
actually, I
have paid attention to him?
Like, I guess I would have like been interested by him fucking with the belt buckle.
Okay.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Go ahead and roll. Let's go with an insight. Let's go with an insight check on this one.
Okay.
Because I've been in
Insight with intelligence.
Whoa.
Can I look
Because
at
this is a little bit different from a normal insight, which was trying to figure out somebody's intentions. This is more so trying to figure out what they were doing.
Can I look at his roll?
Modded 20? What's that?
Can I look at it?
You cannot.
Mod 20.
It's kind of hoping he'd let me do it. Just
Yeah, you don't have any dexterity checks in real fucking life.
Finishing up the casting of Liam's tiny hut, standing up and starting to just kind of go about the motions, catches just the corner of your eye. Something doesn't quite sit right. You look over at Gyatso and you watch as it doesn't look like he's blinking for a minute. It looks like he's just staring off into space.
Mhm.
You've never really seen him do this before. You've seen him meditate to some extent and, kind of consult like within himself. But this is different. He's sitting wide-eyed, just looking. And you don't quite see him blink for a minute. Then all of a sudden, you watch as he does blink. But it's a flick. You watch as his eyes dart from one side to the other as R and Arkin come into the inside. But they don't move. They just are there, and then are there, and then are there, and then are there. And do you have the haste spell?
No.
That's a rough one. You wouldn't know exactly what's going on. But there's something. Something's unusual about him. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you watch as like his vision goes blank for a minute, and he sort of drifts a little bit to the side. And a little drool comes out of one corner of his mouth before he shakes it off and just goes about his normal business.
Okay. But he's like, I'm not making any.
like
I'm not
crackhead.
trying. I'm not trying to not see him.
Right.
I'm like,
What the fuck is this
I'm
crackhead in my
just
head?
like the.
Yeah. Just before the effect of the bell ends, before your vision goes blank, you would have seen Dothrmar like looking at you like rather intensely.
Would I recognize any differences since I've been attuned to that belt before, but I haven't used it? I would only be coming in like when he's like nodding back in, basically. That would be the only thing I would have caught.
You could probably make an assumption, but you wouldn't have any real knowledge for sure.
Okey-dokey.
The fuck was that?
So mess around with some of my time powers. After healing you so many times in the last round, I wanted to experiment with them for a bit. What I just did, that was weird as hell. I won't tell anyone that again as well.
You had a bad trip.
Outside of game, I'm keeping the details of the spell for me for as long as possible. It's fun.
Detect magic site.
What's that?
Detect magic site.
Okay. Do you have a reason for it?
He said he was messing with his time powers, and I want to believe him. But I do remember after getting in the cage,
His time powers have never shown up on your site.
no, they've never shown up on my site. But he did say that he lost whatever he was. No, I wouldn't use detect magic site on him. I would be using detect magic site for around the hut, though, for like outside of it.
Okay. As far as like outside the
Yeah,
hut?
because of what the information that she. Woo!
Thank you for
job.
trying to catch me.
Good
Okay.
job.
Yeah, sure. I tried to catch it.
Okay. Okay. Using your detect magic sight to kind of like look around. The dome itself really prevents you from getting an eye of what is magical outside of the dome, because the dome itself is a magical force.
Right.
So you wouldn't really be able to see much outside of the dome.
And I can't pop my head out or the spell breaks.
If I allow that, I allow some really
Some really
wishy-washy
janky
shit
shit.
that I don't really want to allow. So I'm going to have to say no to that.
That's fair. I get it.
I'm tempted, but I can't. Yeah.
That's fair. All right, then I'll just go back and sit down and get my things together.
Okay. All right. So, long rest. Anybody attunements? Have to make changes to spell slots or anything like that?
I gotta get this spell back.
Baltimore, do you happen to have the spell non-detection?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Also, before you actually rest, is there anything that you currently have prepared that you want to put into your lore gem?
Yes, and I will text it to you.
Gotcha.
I was using that.
For now, I'll try to remind you because I know it's a new process.
Yeah.
So,
Just to keep it.
all right. All right. So, anything anybody wants to do before the long rest?
So you, with the hut, we get a floor, right? It's not like dirt floor.
No, it's a stone floor.
I'd probably be rolling out my sleeping bag, but other than that,
All right. All right.
I want to talk about this.
Huh? Yeah, that's one of the downsides of Liamin's hut. It does not have a floor.
Don't worry, we're like the second I get the chance to, we'll upgrade to the mansion. But like for now, we get the hut.
The mansion.
Oh, he doesn't know about.
He doesn't
the
know
mansion.
about the mansion.
What?
Oh my goodness. Okay, well
She
since
doesn't
I,
know about the
mansion.
mansion.
What?
Is it in PHP or?
I
can,
don't,
can I?
I'm not.
By all means, go right ahead.
I'm not.
We're gonna go ahead and take a break anyway because I do have to go pee.
What?
But yeah, if you want to go ahead and read that real quick before we go ahead and.
looking for
Arc
Gotcha.
have, like,
Mordekainen's
paper.
magnificent mansion. Now I need a miniature portal
What's that?
carved
Would
from
Arkin have any,
ivory,
like, paper
small
or
piece of
pencil?
Absolutely, knowing Arkin.
I'm just making
Yeah.
sure. I don't like to. Assume.
Oh, yeah.
Good God. So 5, 10, 15. I only need 15 gold to cast this fucking spell.
Pretty much.
And a 7th level spell slot. But
and a 7th level spell slot. But yeah,
Not
Also,
worth it,
I gotta
probably.
point out it doesn't consume those.
yeah, because you
Yeah,
have to.
no, it's
It's a replica of like an arch or like a thing,
portal,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
You
not worth
conjure an
it.
extra dimensional dwelling in range that lasts for the duration. You choose where its one interest is located. It shimmers faintly and is 5 feet wide and 10 feet tall. You and any creature you designate when you cast a spell can enter the extra dimensional dwelling as long as the portal remains open. You can open and close the portal if you are within 30 feet of it. While closed, the portal is invisible. Beyond the portal is a magnificent foyer with numerous chambers beyond. The atmosphere is clean, fresh, and warm. You can create any floor plan you like, but the space can exceed 50 cubes, each cube being 10 feet on each side. The place is furnished and decorated as you choose. It contains sufficient food to serve a 9-course banquet for up to 100 people. A staff of 100 near-transparent servants attends all who enter. You decide the visual appearance of these servants and their attire. They are completely obedient to your orders. Each servant can perform any task a normal human servant could perform, but they can't attack or take any action that would directly harm another creature. Thus, the servants can fetch things, clean, mend, fold clothes, light fire, serve food, pour wine, and so on. They cannot go anywhere in the mansion, but can't leave. They can go anywhere in the mansion, but they can't leave it. Furnishings and other objects created by this spell dissipate the smoke if removed from the mansion. When the spell ends, any creatures inside the extra-dimensional space are expelled into the open spaces nearest the entrance.
Can you cast a private sanctum? That would be useful.
How far would
Yeah.
Arkin likely be able to throw back?
Now what?
How far could Arkin likely throw back with her strength?
A bag?
Like a
What
normal
the fuck?
12-pound
Pretty
bag.
But this is this is technically considered a demiplane.
Both of those are really fun.
Yeah, no.
Make them into there.
I need
That's
to grab the private
That's
sanctum
true.
next time we get something changed.
Oh yeah.
Or non-detection.
That's true.
Or non-detection. Why are you guys fucking with me?
Preferably in the servants'
Because it's
quarters.
easy.
Fuck
It does a
you.
lot of damage.
Non-detection
I
is
feel like it's not worth the
non-detection
7th
level
level
too.
spell slot and the 15 gold. Or whatever
Yeah,
it costs.
Oh no. To create the focus for it's more than 17 gold. He's just 17 gold away from it right now, right?
What?
The creating the focus.
For Mordecai's Magnificent Mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's miniature portal carved from ivory, a small piece of polished marble, and a tiny silver spoon, each item worth at least 5 gold pieces.
Oh. Okay. Right.
It's fairly easy to find.
Still
like I say.
probably not worth the 7th level spell slot.
Well, yeah, I know. That's true. That's fair. I mean, I could go for the private sanctum, which is a much lower level
What's
spell,
wrong with what
Which
we
you can
have?
also make
because this one this one also keeps things from spying on us. The next bit, like if I get private sanctum, and it's also a ritual spell, isn't it? Yeah.
For which one?
Mhm.
Private sanctum or whatever. you
Yeah.
said.
And that
Private
would,
Sanctum is a nice one because that's one of the ones you can actually make permanent.
that'd be useful spell on the tower.
Technically, not a ritual though, just a long ass cast time.
So
Yeah.
that's,
Oh, it's not a ritual, just as long as cast time.
Right.
so
Okay.
that's okay. That's a little bit more reasonable.
It's one of the nice ones, especially if you're a wizard, that like and you like say you're a wizard at like a school or college or something like that. And you
Yeah, everyone's competitive and
Right.
with each other.
what you do is you continually cast it in the same area and it eventually becomes permanent and you can open that door anytime you want to, walk into it, and nobody else can come in there with you. Nobody can find the place. Like it's pretty awesome in a lot of ways.
Didn't you use Mornington Sword one of your 1v1s with Cody?
I don't think so. I use the sound, but I don't use the sword.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm going to go ahead so I don't have to do a whole bunch of nonsense. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right here for right now and then just restart it.
Oh.
Mara, do you want water?